TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Big O Show!
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show! Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Lando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Office to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing a personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Andy, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, we ready to rock. We ready to roll. How much of you are buying a dip, baby? Yeah. Ooh, the market last night started to go a little down, and Bitcoin is somewhere in the 38, 39 range. Take advantage. Remember, I was telling you that some people were talking about technical analysis, that there might be a 37 dip before there's a rocket up. So look out. This might be that final dip, the final valley before we go to the peak, baby. So hang in there. Anyway, welcome aboard on a beautiful Friday. It's always beautiful because we've got the weekend. We get to enjoy the weekend. But you know how we start our weekends? We started with Ira Winderman. Why don't we do it right now, baby? The Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, an NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Here he is. No glasses. So let's get the board out of his face. Let me see, and then we'll get ourselves. Yeah, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? There we go. Now we're all together. It's early in the morning, you know. Sean's got to kind of get everything set. How you doing, Ira? You hanging in there?
I'm doing good. I'm back with the same bad curtains in Atlanta I was at for the weekly show last week. It's crazy, Big O. 3 games against the Hawks in like a 12-day period here. And it's funny, when the series started, I was like, okay, if they split the first 2, I'll be fine. And then you sort of realize the Hawks are terrible. You know, and it's just in an ultra competitive Eastern Conference, it's crazy that a team that made last season's Eastern Conference Finals might miss the playoffs this season. So obviously things are changing in the East, but on top of the East, it's crazy. 2.5 games separate the top 6 teams. This is going to be a fight to the finish.
You know, watching the game the other night, and it didn't take this game. It takes his whole freaking career to watch what he's done. But we talk about Shula, and we talk about Riley, and we talk about Ron Frazier. Coach number 4 has to be Spo. If we start to put together the 4 best coaches in South Florida history, I don't know, but I think Spo's in there in that category with those 3 other gentlemen, which we all know those are the guys we hold, you know, above everybody else. Spo looks young still, you know what I mean? But he has accomplished so much, and more than probably any other coach in South Florida history outside of the aforementioned 3 guys I mentioned.
And I'm going to disagree with you. Maybe this will become a talking point later on the show after our Acura Pembroke Pines report. I think based solely on Heat body of work, you might have to put Eric Spoelstra ahead of Pat Riley. Now, Pat Riley has the Lakers, he has the Knicks.
That's the problem. The Frazier, Shula, and Riley, I talked about this yesterday. They not only were great coaches, but they created cultures.
Yes.
So that's probably why I put the 3 there and Spo's my 4th guy. On the coaching side, you are so right. He's
2
As
championships to
accomplished
1.
or more
Yeah.
accomplished than all of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you're
and again, you could tell me that Pat Riley was the mastermind who added to Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James, and of course he did. But Big O, now that we've seen in history, just because you have great players doesn't mean you automatically win. We're seeing that now with the Brooklyn Nets. So what Eric Spoelstra did with LeBron, and it's interesting. 3 weeks ago, maybe before that, LeBron was saying Frank Vogel might have been his best coach ever. And then the last month happened. And then you
Right.
sort of look back, and you know what? Yes, Ty Lue did help him win a championship in Cleveland. I'm not going to downplay that. But I think you can make a strong case that Eric Spoelstra was LeBron James's best coach ever. So the
Right.
difference is this, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Pat Riley had an ego and still does. God bless him. It makes him what he is. The slick back hair, the
Damn
Armani
right.
suits, that's part of his thing.
Damn
Don
right.
Shula had a loud voice. I still remember going to when they used to practice in what was called St. Thomas, and he would just curse you out and not think twice. I was afraid of the man, even though we learned he's a very good person, God-fearing, devout, and all of that during his career also. So I get all of that. Eric Spoelstra wants none of this. Eric Spoelstra couldn't give a rat's butt publicly whether he wins Coach of the Year. And I've got to tell you sort of an interesting story. Eric Spoelstra is very worried right now because the All-Star game is February 20th in Cleveland. And if the Heat keep winning, and now with Lonzo Ball out for the Bulls, Eric Spoelstra might have to coach All-Star Weekend. And as much as the Heat culture over the years, Big O, and you know this, has been to never tank unless you're going, to try to get Derrick Rose, I really do wonder if we get to that February 6th, February 8th cutoff for coaching, and if one more loss would keep Eric and Nikki and the kids in South Florida or some warm destination.
He won't do that. He won't do that. You know that. You know he's
okay,
not
but
gonna
let
do
me ask you this. But if you put
not
Eric Spoelstra in the lie detector and says, do you want to be in
Yes.
Cleveland, Ohio on February 20th as the face of the Eastern Conference, what do you think the lie detector is going to say, Big O?
Oh, no. He's gonna say, hell no, I don't want to be there. No, I get that part, but it's just principle is one thing, and he's full of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
he's not
he is.
he's not gonna coach just to try to tank a game.
But he wouldn't mind. But he wouldn't
No,
mind
no,
being
you
half the
know?
game behind Billy Donovan, believe me.
Yeah, no, you still have a half a season left over. It's not like if you're half a game or a game behind Chicago and they
Right.
get the honors.
The Miami Heat, I think, are home the entire month of March, so they'll have plenty of time to make hay as they're doing now. Look at the homestand they've just been through. 3-1, play one game in Atlanta, another 4-game homestand, winnable games. Lakers, Knicks, Clippers, Raptors. This is what we were waiting for. This was when you were doing early in the season on these accurate Pembroke Pines reports, where is Ira? Because I was everywhere but home. Now there'll be plenty of home studios back in Weston to do these.
Yep. By the way, since you mentioned the Lakers, before we get back to the Heat, that mess now going on, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Russell Westbrook getting benched by Vogel, and this is kind of a thing that it's always been a talking point for all of us. Russell Westbrook, we admire the effort, the energy, all that stuff, but is it winning basketball what you're doing? A lot of times when we would watch Whiteside and he would pile up the stats, but they would lose anyways, and you're wondering, are these winning stats? These kind of things. Are you doing the things you need to do to win? And I think Frank Vogel and maybe the Lakers are finding out that Russell Westbrook is a very difficult person to try to figure out and how to win with him.
Well, and just all the fossils they brought in, all the older players, and bringing Dwight Howard back and bringing Trevor Ariza back and just going with so many old players. Look, it's LeBron James at 37 is better than 99% of the 23-year-olds, maybe 100% of them, to be honest, in the league. But you can't have everyone as an old player. And even Eric Spoelstra talks about he loves how his veterans have empowered his kids. So yes, the Heat have 36-year-old PJ Tucker, 35-year-old Kyle Lowry, a bunch of 32-year-olds and Jimmy Butler and Markieff Morris. But on the other hand, they have the Tyler Heroes, the Caleb Martins, the Duncan Robinsons, the young players that balance this. You need the balance. And so the Lakers' failure is not a Frank Vogel failure. It's not a LeBron failure. It's not even a Russell Westbrook failure for this reason. Russell Westbrook is who he is, and you should have known who he is.
Right.
It's putting this roster together. It's that you look at players they sent away, like a Kyle Kuzma and what he's doing right now, or even Harold didn't work out great last year. but his rebounding and his vitality would be so helpful. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, another player. The Heat have realized the importance of supporting players. We're seeing that with Caleb Martin. We're seeing that with Max Strus. We're seeing that with Gabe Vincent. The Lakers would die to have some of these players. Instead, the young player they brought in was Kendrick Nunn, who got injured with a bone bruise at his knee, has yet to play this season, won't be playing most likely Sunday at FTX Arena when the Lakers arrive. This is a Rob Pelinka front office thing, and everyone else is just getting thrown in there. So Russell Westbrook takes the fall. So Frank Vogel takes the fall. But this team was poorly conceived. All of that said, Big O, if Anthony Davis, LeBron James are healthy for the playoffs, I still think that two-man crew without back-to-back games still can be a threat, because that's about as good of a two-man game as you can get if Anthony Davis can get and stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the question, is stay healthy. That's something that he just hasn't been able to do. Do you think Vogel survives all of this? Because I don't think Frank Vogel's a bad coach, dude. I
don't think he's a great coach either. I don't think he's a championship coach like the Lakers were in the 2020 bubble. I think he's okay. They would have rather have had Tyronn Lue, but Tyronn Lue had certain demands the Lakers were unwilling to meet, so they moved in a different direction. But the question right now with the Lakers is, who else? David Fizdale filled in for 6 games when Frank Vogel was in protocols and the Lakers went 1-5. So you're hardly inspiring comfort if Fizz, the former Heat lead assistant, is the guy who's put there. So it's a matter of, on that staff, probably not anyone else. Phil Handy had a run-in with LeBron James recently, even though they have a long history. I'm not sure about head coaching type situation there. Kurt Rambis could, I guess, be brought back. His name has been mentioned, but his wife works for the Lakers front office, a little nepotism there. So it's not like there's an easy answer at this point of the season. Look, the easiest answer is what we've always said over the years. Just name LeBron coach, because he coaches the team anyway, but that's not going to happen.
Right. It's crazy, man. What's going on there with the Lakers? All right. Moving over this way, personal issues for Lowry continue.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. What I was told was a family matter, but as you know, family first, it's a priority. And if there's something going on with someone in your family, to concentrate on anything else becomes difficult. So again, I never put myself in someone else's shoes, whether it's a personal issue with Kyle Lowry, whether it's
Marquise. You think of this COVID in today's world, man. That's
but it's not his COVID, or else he would have
No,
to
that's
be
what
listed.
I'm saying. That's what it seems like. It's somebody really close to him.
Right. And we know, we all have friends. We've seen what's going on with their very good friend, Larry Bluestein.
Right now, man.
And we're all hoping for him. Please, people, there's a GoFundMe page for him.
Yes.
My wife yesterday went out and, made a donation. If everyone just gives a little, everyone who Larry Bluestein touched over the years, that will go a long way toward helping in his recuperation. So again, you can find it. It's on David Wilson's Twitter page. I don't know if you have it on yours.
Post it. We have it here, Sean. Show it to folks. We have the GoFundMe link there. Also, I don't know if we can put it on the YouTube page, Sean. I don't know if we can add it. Well, maybe because we're on live already, you can't add it anymore. But I know Sean has the GoFundMe.
Right.
Here we go.
Sean.
Hey, Sean.
It is on our YouTube page. I misunderstood the instructions.
Okay.
The GoFundMe link is on our YouTube and on the channel page of YouTube.
There you go. See, that's
why put it up to be posted on here, because they couldn't click on it from here. So I put it where they can click on it and take you to the page.
That's what a great producer does.
Anyway, so that's important. People get out there. Let's all help Blue. And when it comes to Kyle, again, look, some people publicize or make public because they need to their situations. Other people want privacy. It's the same thing right now when people are talking about Markieff Morris's whiplash. Again, you talked to us about your incident, years back when you were in, I believe, a car accident.
B210.
Yeah, it could be a 3-month injury. But again, I am never going to criticize someone who's putting family first or someone who's taking care of their health first whenever. And the remarkable thing to sort of bring this full circle and full cycle is they still find a way to win. They've won 15 of their last 20 games when they've missed Jimmy Butler for an extended period, Bam Adebayo for all but 2 of those games, Kyle Lowry for 2 of those games. People come, people go, people get COVID. We see people like Mario Chalmers stop by for a cup of coffee. It's remarkable. So what you talked about with Pat Riley and what he did, and Eric Spoelstra continued, when you have a culture of winning and of success, everyone gets initiated. I still don't have the secret handshake, but clearly there must be one.
I mean, God, it's just that's why I started the conversation with Spo being, It's just what he's doing night in and night out, year in and year out, and every kind of different team that he's already been handed, throughout his career. And he's had to change offenses 3-4 times in a season at times of what he's trying to do.
And defenses right now. When they were playing with Omar Yurtseven and Dwayne Dedman, they were playing drop coverage. Now, the end of the Portland game, this was Pat Riley's dream scenario. Eric Spoelstra mentioned it. You had basically 5 guys totally switchable. So every time Portland we got someone to pick and roll, there's Bam. There's Caleb Martin. And something interesting there, Big O, to think about down the road. We talked about Tyler Hero. 6th man of the year. He's a lock. The betting odds, you can't even get a price on him anymore. But he was not in at the close of that game, and instead they were able to have 5 defensive presences out there. So this still is going to raise a little bit of a question of, can you play Tyler late in those kind of games? Can you play Duncan Robinson late in those type of games? Because with the way the Heat were switching on defense, I mean, even the Blazers said, what the hell? We ran our page. We were supposed to get the mismatch, and there was the beard of Caleb Martin screwing everything up. It was remarkable what they did. I know Portland was shorthanded. No Damian Lillard, no Larry Nance Jr. They didn't have their full team right there. But still, the way the Heat smothered, it's like one of my Ask Ira questions today. Why aren't the Heat getting more national television games? Because the Heat are being gritty and grinding. And it might not be sexy. But what I told the reader was this. You know what's sexy? The standings. I have a picture of the standings in my office right now. It's not exactly a pinup or anything, but damn, when you look at this team's record and where they are with all they've gone through, that to me still is pretty damn sexy.
Yeah, and in the end, by the way, Miami was missing players, Portland was missing players. But if they're both loaded, Miami's deeper, and that's the bottom line.
Crazy deep that Omar Yurtseven plays 7 seconds. And what a shame that his consecutive game double-digit rebounding streak ends because at the end of the second quarter, Spo doesn't want Bam or Dedman to get another foul. So instinctively he says, okay, go in, Omar. And then after the game, Tim Reynolds pointed this out to me, and I'm sitting there, I'm going, holy crap. He ended his consecutive rebounding streak, 14 games with double-digit rebounds because of 7 stupid seconds. Usually it's the opposite. A guy has a consecutive games played streak. We saw this at a final regular season game. I think it was the lineman for the Titans. He went in for 1 play and then came off the field just to keep his streak alive. Usually that's when you play guys for 7 seconds. In this case, I'm going to ask Spoelstra today, about half an hour from now at the shoot-around here at State Farm Arena, if he knew what that moment meant. But you know what? Spo don't give a rat's ass about stats. He cares about winning.
He's thinking about winning at that point. And by the way, Yurtseven, you're a slacker. You had 7 seconds to get a double-double. Let's go.
And he didn't do a goddamn thing.
Got to give him a little edge energy drink so you get more energy there in those 7 seconds. All right. By the way, speaking of defense, is there any chance that Trae Young overdosed on NyQuil last night just to try to get some sleep because he's got to face Caleb Martin tonight.
That's the thing is, I don't know if he slept at all because he was going to have his Caleb Martin nightmares. You know what? Of all the people who looked at the Heat injury report, you probably have someone like Trae Young who wanted Lowry to play, who wanted Tyler Hero to play just so there would be less Caleb Martin or maybe no Caleb Martin at the start. To refresh people, last Wednesday, I'm living in Atlanta. The Heat came in, Caleb Martin shut down Trae Young, the Heat won going away. Friday night, the teams meet again in Miami. Jimmy Butler's doing okay-ish against Trae Young, but at the end of the game, Eric Spoelstra puts Caleb Martin on him. Same story. After that game, Jimmy Butler says, hey, if Spo wants to start Caleb Martin on Trae Young so I don't have to run around chasing that young little guy, I'll be happy. Well, here we are in Atlanta 8 days later, and now they have a chance, if they want, to start Caleb Martin or at least use him against him. Look, here's the opposite of it, though, and you know this, Big O. Eventually, a player says enough is enough. So this could be the opposite effect. It could be Trae Young, screw Caleb Martin, and maybe when we do our Acura Pembroke Pines report on Monday, we're talking about how, the revenge of Trae Young. So let's see how this plays out first.
Yeah, and by the way, but if Caleb does have success against that on him, it'll be the opposite of what you're talking about. Maybe now he's living in his head.
And then, so you know what? We'll be talking all defensive team level player, whether he's a starter or not. So it really is interesting.
Yeah, no, what a just, and by the way, when you hear him talk and, that Jimmy says, hey, I'm out, you got to replace Jimmy and I got to be Jimmy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you think about that. this is a kid that's, coming off the street, and all of a sudden
Right.
he's become a major part of this team, and a guy that is so trusted. And by the way, we don't give enough credit to Jimmy Butler on how he helps develop and instill
Yes.
confidence in these
Confidence,
guys.
right. And infuses the confidence, and that makes a difference. So, sort of when we're doing our all-time great two-way contracts, probably the debate right now is down to Caleb Martin, what he's done for the Heat, and when the Lakers picked up Alec Caruso on a similar contract.
Right.
And they're sort of on the same career track, guys who blossom in the opportunity and then get to move on to bigger contracts. So it's going to be interesting come this summer when the Heat have to negotiate again with Caleb Martin.
And both guys made their mark first by making defensive plays, and then
Yes.
kind of
And
then everything
grinding
else.
in the G League. And you know what?
Yeah.
When a grinder thrives, that's never going to end. He might not score. He might not give you numbers, but grinders, as I think you told me many years ago, grinders gonna grind. So you
Yeah.
know he's going to grind if nothing else.
Well, you got one that's been grinding for 20 years on the bench. His name is UD. That's the ultimate grinder right there, man. Overall. All right. So, injury wise, anything else? Everybody
No, it's
else?
pretty copacetic. They're just without, the five guys, Markieff, Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry. They're down sort of course, KZ Okpala. I don't know why always. And then, of course, we're waiting on Victor Oladipo. And again, people are asking me, I don't have an insight. The Heat have been very close to the vest. All I know is this. Victor Oladipo shows up for every home game, is very actively dancing during the timeouts, seems to be moving well. So, look, at worst, if he can't play, he probably can be part of some type of halftime dance-off. So at least we have that right now. And we wait.
Yeah. And by the way, let's end it with this. Folks, relax. They don't need him right now. They're winning a ton.
Yeah, you know what? And I don't know, Big O, I don't know if you want to add the two words at the end of your sentence right now. Because remember when they tried to rush Alonzo Mourning back after his kidney illness in that one playoff series, sometimes when you've got a good thing, you just enjoy a good thing.
Right. And you're going to have the luxury of bringing him back whenever he is 100% ready, and you can ease him into the lineup. It's not, oh, crap, we're 5 games out of the 5th spot, and we've got to kill ourselves. And Deepa, we need you, savior. No. It's complimentary, then elevating to being a featured guy. So the ultimate luxury for the Heat has happened this season.
Mm-hmm.
They've developed depth that we never saw. They're better than we ever thought they were.
Correct.
They're at the top of the standings, and there is no hurry to bring back Oladipo. Let him be 100%.
Right.
So that way, when he does come back, he is complementing a championship caliber type team. Boom.
Absolutely agree. Interesting weekend tonight, Atlanta, Lakers on Sunday. I'll be right back here on Monday, Acura Pembroke Pines Report. And 15 of 20 now, maybe 17 of 22 by then. We will see, Big O.
Don't take those curtains home with you. All right, man. Have a great week.
Beautiful. See you, Big O. Thanks.
You got it. There you go. The great Ira Winderman from the South Florida Sunset on our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Yeah, that meant.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right, there you go. And again, folks, underneath here on our YouTube page is the link to donate to help out for Larry Bluestein. As you, if you don't know, Larry obviously has been, a pillar here in our community. Nobody ever in the history of South Florida sports has given more to high school sports and covered it and given it the platform it deserves than Larry Bluestein. Larry is a salt of the earth human being, one of the best people you will ever meet in your life. If you ever meet anybody that says he has an issue with Larry Bluestein, walk away from that person right away. Never even deal with that person, okay? Because that person must be evil, okay? Because no one could ever have a problem with Larry Bluestein. One of the most decent human beings in the world. He needs our prayers. He needs our support. So we have the link there. I've already made my donation. I know Sean has too. So any of you out there, if you can, whatever you can, $1, $5, $10, $500, whatever it is. The bills are mounting, unfortunately, and you never want this to happen to anybody or any family out there. And so, unfortunately, he is fighting the COVID battle, and let's hope he's able to win in this battle, and let's get a miracle turnaround. He's in the ICU, folks. So if you can, the link is below here on our YouTube page, on our main page. It's everywhere there. So that way we make it nice and easy for you guys to find that link and donate. Don't donate. If you were going to donate to the program today, donate to Larry Bluestein instead. Okay? You know, we appreciate it. We love all of you out there for helping us grow by smashing the like button or watching or visiting our sponsors or making a donation. Whatever it is that you do, you're always helping us grow. And Sean and I are grateful. But today, you know, if you were going to make a donation to the show, please make it to Larry Bluestein instead. I think Sean would agree with me 100% on that. You know, that's what's most important right now is the health and well-being of Larry Bluestein, man. So our prayers, when I heard the news, my heart just dropped, because I've known Larry forever. And, you know, again, just a great human being. Pray for Larry Bluestein. He deserves your prayers. All right, folks, 855-912-1056. By the way, you'll be getting messages back on tomorrow if you're one of the winners for the boxing tickets at the end of the month. So send it in to our text line at 855-912-1056. And by the way, for those of you that don't have text or you don't know how to text, and you can go to the fights at the end of the month, and you're here in South Florida, of course, you can, you know what, do it by email too if you want, bigoradioshow@yahoo.com, because somebody emailed me yesterday and said, believe it or not, I don't text, so can I enter? And I said yes. And so, you know, if you want to email your entry also at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Remember, full name, phone number, cell number or phone, whatever, and what's it called, email address, okay? So that way we can contact you. And that's what that person said. I don't know, which is kind of weird that they didn't have a cell phone, but whatever. And I said, okay, you know, yeah, sure, you can enter. And so send it in. Okay. Let's see. Stop spamming. Oh, what is that? Support all gay athletes. Okay. All right. Support all athletes. How about that? Let's do that. Let's support all athletes. All right. Anyway, what do we have here on the program to talk about? We got lots of things to talk about. By the way, great job by the Panthers last night. 6-0 over the Oilers. Congratulations, Bob. You know, the coach wanted them to improve their road game. Not that they have, you know, it's just one game. You know, now they're 6-5-1 on the road. Okay. So, but man, that was a hell of an improvement last night. You shut them out 6-0. Bob says, no goals for you. And he has 40 saves in that one. Barkov with 2 goals and an assist. Reinhardt had 3 assists. Bennett and Duclair. Man, Duclair, what a pickup by what's it called? Zito, man. Duclair has been awesome. So they dominate 6-0. They got Vancouver tonight at 10 o'clock. So this is one of those dreaded. The good thing is that the Heat game will be done right when the Panther game starts. So after Trae Young pees in his pants again because Caleb Martin shut his ass down, we get to then watch the Panthers. Tonight's a great Friday night for sports, man. I love that. I get to sit back, watch the Heat, relax, because I really need this. I need to rest on Saturday and Sunday. I gotta admit. But looking forward to that. So we've got the Heat tonight at 7:30 taking on the Hawks, and we've got the Panthers tonight at 10 o'clock. Good. And then Sunday, by the way, is the revenge game for the Panthers. They're in Seattle to take on the Kraken, right? So it's time for the Panthers to release the Kraken and kick their ass. So let's do that on Sunday. But hell of a road trip for the Panthers. And then Heat take on the Hawks tonight. and then the Lakers on Sunday, all at FTX Arena. And speaking of crypto, for those of you that are out there and in the crypto world, there was some talk that maybe there might be when it was 4042 crypto, when Bitcoin was there, that some people thought it would drop to 37. It didn't get to 37. It's gotten to 38. It's where it's the lowest it's been right now. Let me see. 38,020. Well, actually, no, actually hit 37,900. So technically it did hit the 37,000. It's at 38,735. And I think this is as good a buying opportunity as it's going to get before the slingshot comes up. And right now, folks, Crow is amazing to invest in. It's at 39 cents. SHIB is at 25 now. 4 zeros and then the 25, of course. But it's man, remember this thing went all the way to 90 and it's down to 25. So once this thing bounces back, you're going to more than triple your money, I believe. So SHIB is another one of those, and SHIB is still going to go up a little bit more. Once it gets added to Robinhood, it's all over but the shouting there. CKB is another one that I've talked about for a while now. It's under 2 pennies, but it's at 169 right now. So again, a really good buying opportunity. Ethereum. So I remember, as I tell listen, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but for starters, if I was starting in crypto, like I tell you, great buying time now. You put 40% of your money in Bitcoin, 30% in Ethereum, then put 10% in Polygon, 10% in Cardano, and let's go 10% in Avalanche. Okay? Things like that. And just let it sit there, and it's going to soar. Ethereum right now is at 2847, so it's under 3,000. Remember, this thing was at 4,600 at one point, so it's going to go there and even higher on the bounce back. Cardano is down to 121, which is a really good buying opportunity. Polkadot is at a great buying opportunity at 21.99. And look, if you go to OKCoin, which is what we're looking at, and you look right now, Star Atlas is at just under 6 cents at 583. That's the lowest it's been in a while, okay? In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to purchase me some Star Atlas here at 592. I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit there and get a little Star Atlas there. You just never know. And I always love an OK coin because when you make a purchase in OK coin, what do? You make it rain, baby, and make it rain. So you make it rain. Okay. So there you go. So making it rain with a little Star Atlas. Again, Avalanche down to $72.18. Remember, this Avalanche was at $138. It's at $73 right now. It's going to go right back there. That's why I'm telling you, Avalanche, Polygon, Cardano, these are really good to put 10% of your money in. Whatever you can put, $100, $50, $500, 5,000. Separate the pie into 40, 30, 10, 10, and 10, and leave it alone, and let it go, let it fly, as Dan Marino would say. But this is a really, really good buy. The people that panic and they sell now and they lose their money are the ones that don't understand what's going on. Those of you that are, don't be using your rent money and your mortgage money or anything to ever invest in property and stocks and crypto, whatever it is. What you invest is what you can lose. Okay? What you can invest is what you can allow to let it like Star Atlas. I'm not worried about Star Atlas till 2023. Okay? That's when I'll start worrying about Star Atlas. So notice, whatever I invested, I'm going to let it sit for over a year. So I can afford to let it sit for a year. So if you can't let your money sit for years so you can let it grow and multiply 4, 5, 10, 15 times over, then don't invest. If you need this money for your kid's college fund, use that for the college fund, not to invest. Don't go buying stocks or crypto or a car or whatever. Do the things that your family needs. So if you can invest, make sure it's discretionary income. That way you can allow it to grow. If there's desperation behind an investment, it will not become a good investment. Okay? So if there's zero desperation behind your investment, that's when you're supposed to make it. If there's any desperation that you need that money, then what's more important is your family, your food, your house, your car, your job. Maintain all of that first. Okay, folks, be smart about this. No desperation in any kind of investment. You must have patience and stay strong. Look, I ended up getting some Bitcoin between 40 and 42. You think I'm pissed that it dropped to 37 or 38? No, I'm going to buy more. That's what you do. That way you lower your overall price. So that way when it does catapult up, I did it with Ethereum. I've done it with Cardano. It's worked out for other coins already that are paying off for me. Even on these dips, I'm still way over. So that's what the smart people do in these opportunities. The people that you see panicking and selling, what did I just tell you? What's behind that investment? Desperation. Or some ignorance too, that they don't understand. Yeah, let's say they bought Bitcoin at 52 and now they see it at 38 and they panic. Oh, I'm just going to take it out because it's going to go down to 20. No, it's not. This is the floor here. This is the floor here. Now, I'm pretty confident that this is going to be the floor for Bitcoin. I'm not an expert. Don't claim to be one, but it looked like, 40 to 42 was that hard floor that it's had. I think this is that final one, that final dip that then takes off and it'll catapult. So we shall see. We shall see. Take advantage. Always long term when you invest. Those of you that are thinking to get rich in a month, don't invest. You're going to be most people that think like that will end up disappointed because they're not really thinking of investing on a long-term basis. They're looking to get rich, and you might get rich, you might make a lot of money, but it might take a little while for it to happen. So you've got to have patience. Sure, some of us get lucky, man. I wish I could get lucky. I wish some of you get lucky and you make an investment that, boom, it explodes and, you're set for years to come. God bless you if it happens. That's fantastic for you. But most of us, you got to think long-term and you got to be really patient. Just make sure that word is never in any of your investments. Desperation. That is your OK Coin Crypto Corner right there. How about that? All right. Let's see. You just talked me out of buying one Bitcoin. Thank you. LOL. Well, there you go. I'm glad you got talked out of it, tough guy. Here's a guy that was going to buy a Bitcoin. Yeah, you were going to buy a Bitcoin on a 25-cent machine. That's where you were going to buy Bitcoin. Your name is Chuck E. Cheese, dude. Okay? You can't even put your real name and your face on there. You think I'm going to believe somebody that puts Chuck E. Cheese that I'm going to buy? Oh, you talked me out of buying a Bitcoin. Brother, you couldn't buy a chocolate coin. James Vivinetti, what's up, Big O? I know you're not a fan of first-time head coaches, but look at all the teams that are in the playoffs. Hope we hire McDaniel. Okay, but they haven't hired a first-time coach that they've hit on, right? Right? That's the key. You haven't hit on one of these first-time coaches. And what tells you Mike McDaniel can build a staff? So you're willing to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Mike McDaniel's young as hell. how the hell is he going to build a staff? So unless you know that he's allowing the guys in the front office to help him build the staff, unless you know that there's some veteran coaches that will come with him to kind of offset that stuff, maybe. But you're willing to make the same mistakes they've made over and over and over again. So I don't know. And I get it. You're watching all these little video clips on social media and you're chewing them up and you're getting all excited with these Mike McDaniel sound bites and all that stuff. Whatever, man. I mean, if it floats your boat, go ahead, bro. Go for it. But I'm not going with the first-time coach because I don't know which is the good one and which is the guy that can build a staff. And neither do you, James, because none of us do. But I know Jim Caldwell can build a staff. I know Jim Caldwell can win. I know Jim Caldwell is a experienced coach. So he's done everything. He's won in the most difficult situations in the middle of a season that was a disaster for the Ravens. And he helped turn it around and they won a Super Bowl. He won in Detroit 3 out of 4 years and 2 playoff trips. And he was Tony Dungy's right-hand man. So if Tony Dungy, which, by the way, if Caldwell's from the Tony Dungy tree, like, what's it called? What's it called? The guy in Pittsburgh, Tomlin is, right? You have a couple guys that have fallen from that Tony Dungy tree. So let me get a Jim Caldwell. I'm going to go with a Jim Caldwell because Jim Caldwell has been there, has done it, has the experience, can do it all, dude. So I like that guy there. That's my guy. So you want to go with the inexperienced head coach that you have zero clue that they can build a staff, you go for it. I can't go in that direction anymore. They want to do it. And look, Dable is the one guy because he's 46. He's been in the league for 25 years now. He's bounced around in a bunch of places, which is one of my requirements for those kind of coaches, which McCarthy hasn't bounced around and run as many offenses as he has in different teams. So the Dable one I can understand. The McDaniel one, I can't. You're going to have to convince me that he can get the staff around him. No one does it by themselves. Nobody. So hiring McDaniel does not solve your issue. And by the way, what quarterback has Mike McDaniel developed? At least Brian Dable's developed a guy. Mike McDaniel's developed no one. It's another thing. So it's just there's certain things I need to see out of it. Look, man, in the end, what you think and I think doesn't matter anyway. They're going to hire whoever they like. Let's see. Francisco says Big O wants to miss on potentially the next Sean McVay for a 66-year-old with health problems. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. I'll take that. There's no guarantee he'll be Sean McVay. So, and by the way, Sean McVay hasn't won anything yet, right? Correct? Last time I checked, right? They haven't won the title, right? Have they? Okay. He's done a terrific job. I like Sean McVay. But you have nothing to stand on that he's going to be the next Sean McVay. That's the amazing part. You throw it out there with zero proof. But that's all right. That's this world nowadays. Hey, no, the vaccine, don't get it. They're tracking you. Where's the proof? Well, no, I read it on Facebook. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I get this world. I understand this world. I give you Jim Caldwell, who has substance and proof, and you give me a guy, there's no proof. But that's all right. It's all good. You create your own narrative. You create your own facts, even though there are none. But that's all right. You go ahead, my man. You go ahead. I'll lean on the guy that's done it and knows how to do it. And you lean on the guy that's never done it, and you have no idea if he can do it. You can only make that up in your mind that he might be Adam Gase again. that he might be Joe Philbin, that he might be Brian Flores, that he might be any other guys that we've had in the past. Because they're so phenomenal. The next Sean McVay. Let's see. What the hell is that? Corn, Iowa Productions. Okay. Man, you guys challenge me sometimes with some of this. Thank you, Corn, Iowa Productions, for the super chat. I appreciate you, man. Big O, who's the running back you want? I don't know yet. I haven't even looked at that yet. I haven't even bothered with that yet. So we'll find out. Let me find out who's declared and who's ready, and start getting some dirt. But they will get a running back. Bet your ass on that this year. They will add a running back. Triana says, "Oh, do you think we could see a period in Miami sports where we see the Heat, Panthers, and Hurricanes vying for a championship in the same year soon, assuming Cristobal does what we hope he can do?" Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think the Canes are that close to a title, not this year. Panthers and the Heat are, I didn't look at the Heat as a title contender this year, but now they are. With that depth, those young guys, they're a title contender now in my book. And the Panthers for sure, but not the Canes aren't one this year coming up. Maybe the year after, if he can load it up and get the right coaching and all that. We'll have Manny Navarro later on in the program, and we'll ask him about the coaching hires, because Kendall Briles apparently turned him down, so he's having issues trying to get the right offensive coordinator, apparently. Matthew Lean, thank you, sir, for the super chat. He says, "I personally want Peterson, good offensive mind, and had a sneaky elite defense in that Super Bowl run. And if Harbaugh comes to the NFL, it is Miami." Now, remember, Peterson didn't pick the talent. The front office picked the talent, okay? So don't make it sound like Peterson was picking the defensive players and all of that. That was Howie and the people in the front office making those decisions. Peterson pretty much coached the players that they gave him, which is what I want the Dolphins to do now. Pick the players. Don't allow the coach to be meddling too much with any kind of personnel. Richard Ray, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. He says, "Big O, what's the solution for the O-line? Is it just coaching, or do we need new guys?" Richard, how long have you been listening to the show? See, the difference between yours truly and most of the media and fans is they all went the lazy way and went, "Oh, no, it's Chris Grier. It's the personnel department." And from day one, I said it was coaching. Coaching was the problem on this team. Brian Flores is not good enough. Can't get it done. Can't get the offensive coaches. I need first an offensive line coach before I judge the offensive linemen, no matter how bad Austin Jackson is. And he looks pretty hopeless. But maybe a guy can come in and rebuild that confidence and get him to a point where he's good. I don't know about great or Pro Bowl, but maybe good, maybe serviceable. I don't know. But I'd like to have a real offensive line coach with a real offensive coordinator kind of complement these guys to see what you have. Because if you're hitting on all the other picks pretty much, and the offensive line is really what's missing, then that tells me there's coaching problems. And clearly, if you watch the offense all over the place, it was the worst offensive coaching staff in the history of the Miami Dolphins. There has never been a worse offensive staff than what Brian Flores put together. So, apparently, Richard, you have not listened to the show a lot. But I've been saying for a long, long, long time, for many months, it's the coach. It's the coaches. That's the problem on this team. So, get me some coaches so I can judge the O-linemen. Get me an O-line and an offensive coordinator and a running back so I can judge the quarterback. And then I can make a determination on who can play on the O-line and who can't, and can you win with Tua or not. Okay? Because I believe you can win with Tua, but obviously there's that doubt out there. But I believe it's a doubt because most people are lazy and don't really look into it, just like coaching. See, a lot of people as the year went on, they started to switch to what I said, that it's coaching. Oh, no. Or at least they're saying, maybe it's not that they're all bad. Maybe it's bad coaching. So it's a little of both. Some people went all the way my way with coaching, and even the people that said personnel say, hey, you know what? Maybe it's also coaching. We got to see. So at least people were open to realizing that it's really hard to miss on all linemen. They had to have hit on at least one or two of those guys. At least one or two of those guys have to be good. Robert Hunt is the one that out of all the crappiness has shown you a little something. So if you can get Robert and somebody else, then you've hit on 2 of the 5. If you get a third, then it becomes one hell of a coup. But until you get an O-line coach, you're not going to know how good or how bad these guys really are. And you know what'll happen? They'll end up getting cut, and then they'll go somewhere else, and there'll be, Billy Hunter and other guys that have gone other places, and they've gone to have success and at least have a serviceable career when they could have done it for you. Miami has to get an O-line coach, and they have to get at least 2 veteran linemen, proven, really good linemen. Free agency, draft, trade, whatever it is, but no, not draft, free agency or trade to add to that line. You've got to add some experience and, some anchors to that line. Corn Iowa Productions, once again, another super chat. Thank you, sir. Very nice of you. Brooklyn Rob says, Big O, turn on the tower here. Some funds for the electric bill. Thank you. It's not the tower. It's not the tower. It's the cable. And so it's really, it's a weird thing. I bought this tower in Paris. So we went for, I took my wife for our 25th wedding anniversary. I surprised her and I took her to Paris. Gave her a new wedding ring and all that stuff. We had dinner in the Eiffel Tower. And it was, I nailed it. I mean, it's just, how can you lose, right? 25th wedding anniversary, Paris. I gave her a new ring, all that good stuff. So I bought this, right? And I'll show you because I'm transparent as hell. So apparently, you see this cable? So it comes with this. But you see, it's that European stuff because I bought it in Paris. So that's the thing that comes with it, right? So I had to buy an adapter. So then you got to put where is it? Right here. So you got to put it in, because it has multiple options. So you got to put it here and then you plug it in. But it seems like this here, the contact is not very good. So when I connect it, sometimes it doesn't work. So I've got to replace this cable. And somehow I want to get maybe an American thing. So I got to get a mini plug with a regular one so I can fix this. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I wrap it like this and then plug it, and so it kind of pulls on it. And you see? Then I got to get jiggy with it, and there you go. So that's a little behind the scenes. So, Rob, the donation is for a new cable, and I got to find it's not the electricity. Okay. But thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. And by the way, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. Although, really, do it to Larry Bluestein. That would be really good if you guys can donate over there. I appreciate all the donations. We all do. But also, the link for Larry is there, folks. Please, if you can, make a donation to Larry Bluestein, okay? Because he definitely deserves it. Big O, any shot we trade Xavier and Howard for Deebo Samuel, or do I keep dreaming in a perfect world? Yeah, keep dreaming. That's never going to happen. They're not going to let go of Deebo Samuel, dude. That's not going to happen. I like Dable, but Joe Marino, who is a friend with Kyle Krabs, says that we're ready to get rid of him before Allen blew up in his 3rd year. And says, I remember before Allen blew up, but he worked with Tua, so that's a plus. I don't know, man. We will see what ends up happening and who they end up picking, whatever. Nyborg says Isaiah Prince started at right tackle last week for the Bengals, and while he's not making anyone in Cincinnati forget Munoz, he looked better than Jesse Davis did at any point this season. No, Isaiah Prince has struggled big time, Nyborg. You need to read up, my brother. He struggled big. They don't have a good line in Cincinnati. They only have a couple of linemen that are serviceable. They have their problems in Cincinnati, my man. That line is not good, and Isaiah has not been good this year at all. I get it. Jesse Davis is no great shape. Look, only Brian Flores is the only dumbass that starts Jesse Davis at right tackle. Brian Flores is the only dumbass in the world that puts 4 inexperienced linemen with a journeyman in front of a young quarterback. Brian Flores is a king-size dumbass. Okay? Brian Flores did some of the dumbest things I have ever seen a head coach do. And I mentioned this from the beginning of the season. When you get 3 offensive coordinators are inexperienced, and I like the breakdown in the way I said it would be, that one guy makes the call down to what's it called, to what's his name now? The young QB, the former QB, what's his name? I forgot now his name. Anyway, so, and then he relays the play to Tua. But the only thing that Charlie Fry can tell Tua is, hey, that play that they called, remember this, that, whatever. Linebacker is a little slower on this side. Watch out. Safety likes to cheat a little bit more over, so this guy might be open. No. Brian Flores' stupid ass had all 3 of them kind of, deciding on what play, and that Charlie Fry could actually change the play, which Charlie Fry's the one that changed the play to the play that Jacoby Brissett threw out of his own end zone into the end zone. Okay? So Brian Flores is the stupidest human being in the world to think that you're going to get an inexperienced quarterback with no running game, 4 young linemen, a journey lineman, an O-line coach that couldn't find his ass, his a-hole with a funnel, 3 offensive coordinators arguing about a play like the 3 Stooges, okay, and no QB coach. Brian Flores could be the stupidest human being on the face of the earth, because anybody that comes up with that kind of a concoction to think that that was going to work, man, you need to be fired on the spot. And that's probably what Reggie McKenzie, Marvin Allen, and Chris Greer were thinking at the beginning of the year, going, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster. Because don't even think about you. They were firing him for a while now. They were probably wanting to fire him before this season started. He was probably on double secret probation when this season started. They just didn't want to make a change so soon. And then they found out again his plans this year, and they knew it was only a matter of time. And how any of you out there defend this clown is amazing to me. And to listen to people in the media and around oh no, Brian Flores did such a great job. This idiot didn't even talk to his team the second half of the season, and that's why they were winning. The less of Brian Flores they had, the better. I am going to laugh at the next team that is stupid enough to hire this moron. I mean, it's just a freaking joke, dude. Seriously. Just insulting is what it is. Saddest part is a bunch of you didn't even pick up on it. From Chess Rockwell, thank you. Don Davis, thank you, sir. Little love on Venmo. Ohio John, thank you. Love on Venmo. You talk about Marino never had the run game, O-line, and defense needed to get that Super Bowl win. Those things were staples in the championship teams of the 70s. Did Shula's philosophy change with Marino, or was he just unable to find the right guys? No, my man. I know he's passed away. I know he is, our GOAT and all of that. Don Shula was terrible, dude. There's no other way of looking at it, bro. From trading Anthony Carter for Robin Senline and Jay Brophy and Eric Kumaro and Boza was injured and it just was on and on and on and on. He did a lot of terrible things, unfortunately. He meant well. And then the cap came and he didn't know how to deal with that because that was something new and it became a disaster for him. And he had that year with the 19 first rounders. And it was, unfortunately, Shula lost his fastball. That's all. And he didn't have the personnel people that he had in the front office in his first half of his go-round. The Bethards of the world and all those kind of guys that he had in there that helped him with personnel decisions. That second half, the David Overstreets of the world and everything else that went on, that was just, it's not, Shula knew what he needed. And it's not like he didn't, he tried to get Overstreet. He tried to get Sammy Smith. He tried to get running backs, but it just didn't work out. And then he had bad luck. You trade for Hugh Green. He blows out his knee. You never see the Hugh Green you traded for. It's just, it was weird, man. Weird. Tough. But it's just that Shula lost his fastball in those days. And Marino basically bailed his ass out. Bailed everybody out and just gave you what he could give you. But he was never going to win it all because you saw it when we saw our boys in the Super Bowl. And we're sitting there watching that San Fran game, and you knew there was no competition. And I was pissed because I was a teenager in those days. I think I was in high school in those days. I think that was my senior year, I want to say. And I was livid, man, because San Fran's offensive line was better. San Fran's running game was better. San Fran's defense was better. San Fran's game plan was better. That's it. And if Marino had Walsh and, then he probably would have won a title. He just never had. Unfortunately, Shula never completed the job. Couldn't complete the job. That's why even if you're the great Dan Marino, you need help. And if you don't get help, you're not going to win. You can try to mask whatever you want and all that garbage people talk about, but that ain't going to help you, man. David Overstreet died. Yes, that was part of the bad luck, sir. Bad picks, bad luck, bad everything. Everything. Hugh Green, David Overstreet. What other ones were like that were just, it was either bad luck or just bad decisions. Yeah. There was another running back that didn't work out. Who am I missing, ladies and gentlemen? Help me out. It's Sammy and Overstreet, and there was one more that I'm forgetting. We also had, Lorenzo Hampton too. Irving Figueroa, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Little love on the super chat. That's very nice. Thank you. Out there. Let's see. Big O. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Let's get ready for hour number 2 here on the Big O Radio Show. And Manny Navarro should be joining us next.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer. When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make a difference.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, welcome back. By the way, Eric Bedenbaugh, you go, when you're drafting in the 20s every year, it's hard to get top players. Marino was dumb luck because of cocaine rumors. Eric, so what's your excuse for the Patriots? Just saying, bro. Just saying. What's your excuse for the Patriots? Because they win all the time and they're picking in the back end of the draft all the time. So they're not picking top 5 all the time. So just in case, it's, as I've said for over 20 years on my show, it's not where you pick, it's who you pick. You can choose to pick John Avery or you can choose to pick Drew Brees. Okay. You can choose to pick Eddie Moore or Anquan Bolden. None of those were top 5 picks, and the other 2 are going to end up in the Hall of Fame. Well, at least Bolden should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he'll ever make it. Manny, how you doing, my man?
Hanging in there, Big O. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing a little better than Mario right now, trying to find an offensive coordinator. What's going on with that?
Well, man, listen, I can tell you from my own
files, and he said, no, I will have none of that. So what's up with that, bro?
Right. Well, from my conversations, we'll say with somebody close, very close to Mario Cristobal, that's the way I'll phrase it.
What's his wife say? Brother?
No, listen. It's just somebody very close to Mario Cristobal. We'll use that as the terminology. Okay. He's this whole process. Okay. Oh, I've tried to explain this to people. When you, for instance, when you go for a job interview, okay, usually you'll ask a question like, "Hey, how much does the job pay?" Right? Now, when you ask that question, you have a conversation over money, and you leave. Usually the last thing that person tells you is, "Hey, we'll be getting back to you about the job." right? We'll let you know what we decide. Well, what happens with Mario Cristobal, who was interviewed, I think upwards of 20 people now for various coordinator positions. Okay. Those people get impatient and they go to their agent and they say, hey, this guy was talking about, I can get this amount of money from here. Let's see if I can get myself a raise from my current employer and see if they'll match that deal.
Oh, I see. So they're using you more for leverage than actually the job.
Well, it doesn't mean that Mario's not interested in that person for the job. It just means that guy is not sitting there waiting all day for Mario to make a decision. And what happens is they take the information, they go to their agents. Their agents say, how can I get this guy a job? Well, just say Mario Cristobal talk to us about Miami. So that's the, in essence, what I've gathered has been happening here throughout this process, because Mario, whether other people understand it or not, when he's looking at this job from a two-pronged approach, okay? And I think it's from, just because you want to run a certain offense doesn't mean you can hire anybody to be your defensive coordinator. In other words, the two units have to marry each other, right? The offense has to be supportive of what the defense does. The defense has to be.
Amen.
So I think from a philosophical standpoint, while we've had amateurs in the past at the University of Miami who became head coaches and made rash decisions saying, oh, this guy runs a great offense, they never thought about, well, how's that going to affect the defense? And Mario, being under the tutelage of Nick Saban for a long time, saw some things that taught him some lessons. And to him, when you go through this process, you don't just hire any offensive coordinator, you don't just hire any defensive coordinator, because if they don't match and they don't mesh their styles, then you may not win or have the kind of success that you're intending to have. So this is why, from his perspective, this is a very delicate process. And let's face it, he's got a boatload of money to work with. And the guys that he's going after are talented guys that would like to get raises at their own place if they don't get the offer. That a good way to explain it?
Yeah, no, I got it. So what's next now that Bryles is off the board?
Well, I think Bryles and Kendall were definitely guys he was interested in. There are other guys. I mean, Ken Dorsey's a name that has been out there, right? That people have put out there in the past. You know, I know that the list is deep. I don't know all the names on there. Okay, I've been told through people who have worked with Mario in the past that they think he's waiting on NFL guys.
Is Dorsey a recruiter?
Dorsey's not a recruiter. And that's
just his personality doesn't seem to me.
No.
Jack crap in a meeting with parents. Ken Dorsey just looks like the kind of guy that just smart, run your offense, all that, but I don't know about luring players and pumping them up and all that kind of stuff. You know,
I think that's the difficult part of this process is I think Mario wants guys that are obviously good at it all, that are great recruiters, but the reality is, there's not a lot of guys that have it all. It's hard to find those guys. It's hard to target those guys that are great recruiters, great play callers, great communicators, all of those things that you want in a coach. And so you almost, you go through this process. And I'll say this also as an addendum to everything I've said. I think he's also very much aware that there are 7 vacancies in the NFL right now, and he knows shit is going to get shaken up. And he knows guys are going to get hired from the college ranks. And he knows that a lot of the guys that coach with him in college football right now are tired of NIL and transfers. These guys don't want to coach in college anymore. A lot of these coaches, honestly, they don't have the patience for it. It is too much, too demanding.
Yeah.
So
while
you have those vacancies, those 7 NFL vacancies, it's almost like, okay, I can have great conversations with this coach, but he may tell me, yeah, but listen, if I can go to the NFL, I'm going to do that. So you go through this whole process of interviewing a guy, and all of a sudden, the guy tells you at the end of the conversation, well, I'm also keeping my options open because such and such guy might get the job in the NFL and he may take me. You get it?
Yeah.
So all of this goes hand in hand. I think Mario is taking it from the approach of why hire somebody right now and go through this process where he's so good he might get plucked and go somewhere else once the chips start moving all across the landscape of college football.
All right. So then this process, how long will this process affect recruiting?
It won't, and here's why. Again, this is something somebody very close to Mario Cristobal told me. This is why it won't, because in his mind, he has a offensive line and defensive line coach, and both of those guys, in his opinion, can recruit and sort of hold the fort down, because those are the two biggest positions of need for Miami. So when it comes to recruiting talent and bringing guys in, he feels like, look, I've got guys in place at the positions where we need the most help. And I've also got two elite recruiters in McClendon and now Kevin Smith, the running backs coach, where they can go and recruit other positions if we need them to.
And you can argue that, your two line coaches might be your most important coaches.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the foundation, dude. If you don't win on the lines, you're not going to win anything more often than not. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
At least you can solve, because I know. Look, the Dolphins haven't solved. During the last tenured guy, they couldn't find an offensive line coach, and so that's the good thing. And I got to figure that offensive line coach. I know he brought him from Oregon, but obviously going to be good because. That's Mario's thing too. So, that's going to be a strength on this team.
And here's something else I will add. Okay. I had the podcast I did yesterday with Rudy Fernandez on the Wide Right. I'm going to plug it only because it was a really good interview with Rudy, who obviously is the chief of staff at Miami. Obviously hired Mario, hired Dan Radakovich. He is essentially the most connected man at the University of Miami because he works for Julio Frank, and they run it from the top. We talked about support staff, right? Which is something that we didn't really get a clear answer on. And I'm going to report this at some point for The Athletic, but I'm sharing it here with you because I work for you, brother. We're a team. He talked about on my podcast yesterday about support staff. And this is one example Rudy gave me. At Clemson last year, where Dan Radakovich was, there were 12 members of the support staff of that were hired in addition to assistant coaches, quality control, analysts. There were 12 additional people. So when you broke down Clemson's roster, divide 100 by or 90 by 12. Okay, what number that comes out to? What one person has every 6 or 7 kids, right? They're assigned to 6 or 7 kids. Guess how many support staff members were at the University of Miami last year?
3. Wow.
1. So wow. I know from talking to somebody very
that's a lot of support. That's a lot of support, by the way.
That's just one example of there's going to be now 12 people essentially at Miami doing a job that one person was doing last year. Okay. And so, for instance, defensive line, right? Well, you think, oh, they're just going to have a defensive line coach. No. Oh, they're just going to have a defensive line quality. No, they're going to have 3 and 4 people at every single position based with support staff, which is what the Alabamas, the Georgias, and the Clemsons do.
Right.
And that's why these kids, you talk about, man, who's coaching these guys? Well, it's pretty hard to get a bunch of kids who don't spend nearly the amount of time the old Hurricanes did in the 80s and 90s around the team, because there are hour requirements of how much time you can spend with the kids, right?
Right.
Or hour maximums that you can spend. Now these other people that are part of support staff, well, guess what? They get to be around them, and they get to coach them 24/7 when you're not around. You got it? And that's the difference. And that's the difference. And that's why you say, man, why does Mark Pope still not run the right route? Right? Or why does Gervin Hall try to tackle his own teammates? Well, guess what? That shouldn't happen anymore, because there's going to be somebody in his ear 24/7 as part of support staff, who it's going to be their job and their responsibility to make sure these guys are 100% ready to play a game.
All right, on the recruiting side, what news do we have brewing?
Yeah, well, very big weekend. This is all about the 2023 weekend, the Elite Prospects Camp. Okay. I mean, kids from all over. The number 1 cornerback in California, the number 1 defensive end from this state and that state, kid from Washington State, defensive lineman. They're all coming down here between today and tomorrow. Some of them, the really, really elite ones, are meeting with coaches and staff today on campus, where they do all kinds of measurements and all kinds of, behind the scenes stuff that they say, oh, we don't know how fast that kid runs in the 40, or we don't know how long his arms are. Bullshit. They all know, because they use days like today to get all their information. Okay. So all of that kind of stuff is going on. There's going to be an elite prospect camp tomorrow, and it's 7-on-7 tournaments down here. I don't even remember the names of it. It's all, but you're going to see tons of recruiting. This person loves Miami, and this, you're going to see every Rivals 247. They're going to write 1,000 articles about all these kids being down here. As far as the recruiting class itself, the 2022 class, the one that's signing February 2nd, I had a long conversation with Shamar Stewart's position coach at Monsignor Pace. I'm going to have a story coming out tomorrow, but essentially talking about Texas A&M, Miami, and Georgia. He's at Georgia this weekend. He'll be at Miami the final recruiting weekend, but just why all of a sudden he's seriously considering Miami. I think before Manny Diaz and company had dropped the ball with this kid, I think Miami's a real player now for him. I think before we were all like, oh, is Shamar Stewart going to go to Miami? People were writing stories about it. It wasn't going to happen. I think now there's a serious chance because of Mario taking over the job. So again, another elite top 100, 5-star, 4-star type kid considering Miami. Why? Because Mario Cristobal took over the job. That's why.
All right. John Ruiz and company, Maukikawa and Rosenhaus. So they're spending some cash.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this process and why I should not be nervous that this won't blow up in the University of Miami's face, because that is the only thing I think any of us are worried about for the University of Miami, because, man, you just got Mario. The last thing we want to see is Mario's first 2 or 3 years be coaching under some kind of, suspension or probation or crap like that. So what is being done to make sure that things are being done, I don't know, as legally as possible in this wild, wild west?
I had a long conversation with Adam Arnott. I know most of your listeners have no idea who that is, but he is a former walk-on, okay, turned NIL lawyer. Okay, this is his specialty. And very good guy. He helped with the Eric King stuff last year when all this NIL stuff was going on. He continues to sort of follow the process. He's very much into this, all the new law of NIL and marketing, okay? And I went over everything Ruiz has been doing. I talked to Rudy Fernandez, who I mentioned earlier. Rudy, more than anything, here's why I will calm the nerves of fans. Rudy Fernandez and Miami have approved these deals. They've gone through the process that they're supposed to go through with Rosenhaus, with Kawa, with Ruiz.
So everything is vetted from
everything is vetted from beginning to end. The problem is Ruiz is acting in a way that is all Miami, right? Which is, hey,
loud and brash,
loud and braggadocious. So that naturally there's nerves. But I went over this whole process with Adam, and I learned this from Adam because, look, as much as I cover sports and we follow NIL and we read the stories, the reality is we don't know the intricacies of what's happened with it. But essentially what the NCAA did, for our listeners, is they put out a rule book that was much smaller than the state of Florida ever imagined NIL would be, right? The state of Florida, every state in the country adopted their own NIL laws initially, right? Now what's happened is the NCAA put out their thought process of what NIL should be and the rules around it and who can negotiate, who can be involved in the process, yada, yada, yada. Well, Florida's one of 15 states whose laws are a lot tougher than everybody else in the country, okay? Really? Alabama, yes. Florida.
So that means DeSantis must not be a part of it. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That was.
But essentially, Florida's rules, okay, according to what I was told from Adam, and I believe him because this is his profession. He's a good dude, and Rudy echoed this to me in our podcast conversation. Florida's laws are tougher. They're among the toughest in the country. 15 states whose laws basically say the university cannot participate in NIL deals, right? FSU, UF, they cannot go to people and companies can't come to them and say, hey, we want to facilitate this deal between us, the school, and the athlete, right? For instance, TiVo in the state of Georgia, where there are no rules, okay? TiVo went to Georgia Tech and said, hey, we want to sign all 90 of your players and pay them $5,000 a month, whatever it is, to advertise TiVo, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They could do it because in Georgia, there's nothing stopping it. There's no state laws, no state legislation stopping that. So they signed all those kids to that deal. What does that do for recruits? Well, it shows them, hey, if you come to school in Georgia, not only can you negotiate your own NIL deals? But the school can help you get a deal. At Miami, they can't do that. Florida, they can't do that. Florida State can't. They can't get involved directly. The advertiser has to go directly to the kid or his agent and set up the deal. So what's going to happen here soon in the next few months is those state laws are going to be repealed or changed in some way, shape, or form, and it's going to become more of what the NCAA suggested, so that Miami can now attract more recruits for NIL without needing a John Ruiz by doing some of these deals on their own.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as it seems like, they're following the rules, then everything will be all right. Because, we have this thing down here that we kind of, view that they don't treat Miami equally compared to some of the other schools out there, especially the NCAA. So you worry. And I think also it's kind of shell shock for all of us, because we've gone from night and day from, everything being taboo to now, dude, everything's on the table now. Nevin Shapiro now would be like God at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that it's a weird dynamic that we're all adjusting to, and we all wonder and worry about, okay, we've seen the ramifications in the past. What will happen if they get tripped up again? That kind of stuff. Plus, the Mario thing, I think, injects a lot of positivity into the organization. People are hoping that now it'll trend in the right way. The last thing they want is to deal with this and not ever see what Mario could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just things that make people nervous when they see that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, when you have national reporters like Darren Ravel, who work for ESPN, going into these Twitter spaces and asking all these quote unquote hard questions, right, to Ruiz, and everybody sort of attacking back and forth. And he's writing things like under the guise of a company that opens it. Listen, if the University of Miami ultimately approves these deals, it's on them. Like, in other words, if Ruiz gets in trouble after that,
right,
that's on UM. They approved it.
You knew what was going on, right? Exactly.
Right. You acknowledged it now. You went through the process. You had your people look into it. At that point, if you get egg on your face, that's on you, bro. You were aware of it. This wasn't Nevin Shapiro doing stuff behind your back. And I think ultimately, other schools, like the SEC schools, the Big 12 schools that have been doing this for years illegally, they have their quiet, quote unquote, quiet system. We'll see if that changes in the years to come because of guys like Ruiz. Because the more they advertise it, the more that helps recruiting, right? The more it helps these recruits say, man, I'm gonna get to Texas and I'm gonna get paid, or I'm going to Texas and I'm getting paid, or whatever it is. That kind of stuff could be advertised a lot more. And in the end, it's gonna be a free for all. Right now, it's like the Wild West. I think we're heading more towards a free for all than we are the other way with regulation.
All right, there you go. We're going Ted Nugent, baby. It's a free for all. All right, what are you working on at the Athletic, my brother, so folks can check you out?
Yeah, well, certainly that Shamar Stewart story will be coming soon. I'm also going to do something, sort of an update on what's going on with the coordinator search, which we've already covered here on your show. I posted something this morning or late last night on Larry Bluestein. We all know who Larry is, high school guy. Who's done so much for recruiting, fighting for his life.
We have the GoFundMe link here on our YouTube page, so it's nice and easy for folks to just go to the link and make a donation, man. We love Larry, man. Come on, man. Who doesn't, Larry? I said at the beginning of the show, I said, if you ever run into anybody and they say, I have a problem with Larry Bluestein, walk the other way. Don't even deal with that person ever again. Just leave. There's something wrong with that person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's who Larry Bluestein is. You know what I'm saying? It's just great human being.
Great guy. Helped me a ton when I was getting off, being the high school writer for the first time, getting off my feet and sort of just guiding me through all the history, man, of Dade and Broward County. We know how rich our county here is with all the great athletes. And anytime I had a question, I'd call Larry, and we've been friends for 22 years now. And just broke my heart when I found out what happened to him, and that he was in the hospital. So I really hope people who know Larry and don't know Larry can at least read his story. Read the story I wrote for The Athletic. It's free on the website. It's no cost to you. You can read that story about Larry and our friendship and some of the things I know about him.
Yeah, let's tweet that one out too. Let's get that one out there. And by the way, we can't announce it yet, but we're inching closer. You might be getting a little more Manny Navarro here on the show. So Just be ready, Canes fans. There might be something coming on a weekly basis with Manny and a co-host, actually.
That's right.
As we continue to expand here on the platform. Appreciate you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend, and
you too.
Hopefully, maybe in the next week we will have that news. Had a monster meeting. Had a monster meeting yesterday.
All right.
So really, really positive. Really, if it falls, which I think it's going to fall into place, you're going to be doing something that's really, really cool. But
all right, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Yeah, we're working on it, bro. You know me. We're grinding. All right, man. You be good. Have a great week and enjoy the family.
You too. Take care.
You got it. There you go, man. Manny Navarro, baby. Follow him on Twitter, Manny_Navarro. And please subscribe to The Athletic. Support Manny and all the great writers. And we got something brewing, man. We got something brewing. Had a really good meeting yesterday. And I think got 2 shows that we're going to add that are going to be monster shows. And they won't be during this time slot. They will be different time slots. There will be more drive time. And, you know, I don't want to give out too much information because I certainly don't want to, you know, ruin it and give away too much. But it's brewing. We got to go. Oh, I see you got a little Nature B. I love it. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals. I love my Nature B, folks. I've been taking Nature B for 20 years. 20 years. I take 2 capsules a day. It protects my immune system. That's why I rarely ever have a cold. It sustains energy all day long. So when you get to 2, 3, 4 o'clock and you're that lunch has set in, and no, with Nature B, you're going to power all the way through. And of course, it improves digestion. I tell you all the time, for you ladies out there, your nails are going to grow faster and stronger. Because my nails, I told you yesterday, I think I need to cut them already, man. It's crazy. The benefits are endless. Your hair will grow faster. And listen, in today's world with all the viruses out there, and maybe some of you out there, maybe your immunity is compromised in one way or another, and you need to boost that immune system to protect yourself. That's what I've been doing with Nature B for 20 years. I'm not lying. Anybody that's been following my show, you know Nature B has been a sponsor of mine for a long time. So Jeff and the boys have just gone on board. There you go. And there's the power of pollen. All you got to do, there's the code. Big O, baby. Big O. Do it. All right. Nature B. It is for me. So if you're a truck driver, if you're a teacher, if you're a broadcaster, if you're a lawyer, whatever it is you do in life, you're going to need a little energy. And now that you're dealing with people, you need to protect your immune system. Nature B, baby. Big O is the code. Get the power pack. Call them at natureb.com. All right, let's get ready. We are going to talk to Omar Kelly when we come back on the other side. Let's get the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. That is next. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Deconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Omar Kelly. And by the way, congratulations on the award. Very
Thank
nice.
you. I appreciate that.
Award you had no idea you won when I reached out to you and said, congratulations on the honor. He's like, what honor? And seriously? And then I had to send you the link on the honor you won. What the hell is wrong with you?
You know what it is? I actually was told about it maybe 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And I was struggling to understand where it came from because I never, you know how these things work. Like you submit for something or, maybe somebody nominates you and I never submit for anything. And I don't have any interest in anybody nominating me. I'm just not an award person. But as my best friend told me, we need to learn how to accept our flowers. And I'm not very graceful at accepting my flowers, nor am I comfortable with it. So thank you. I appreciate that. I did have no idea what you were talking about when you did text me. You were first person.
And by the way, I got nothing but love for you. He's Omar Kelly, by the way, has won the National Sports Media Association Award for South Florida. The NFL columnist Omar Kelly as the 2021 Florida Sports Writer of the Year. It is the first time he's received the award, and Kelly continues covering the Miami Dolphins for the newspaper, and that's, of course, our boy Glenn Gable, who does the South Florida sports coverage and does a really good job with that, keeping up with all of the local South Florida news. You can actually check it out on Twitter and follow it. That way you can keep up with all of the stuff that goes on. So congratulations, bro. Well-deserved.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So now you've been stirring crap up now with
is that how we're gonna put it? That I'm stirring crap up?
Well, I'm just saying.
I don't look at it.
You're stirring crap up now, right? So now you're officially no longer a Tua guy. That's it.
No.
No, you can't have it.
No.
I heard your show.
No. I do not share those opinions. What I am doing.
You just told Dave Hyde that they picked the wrong quarterback. I heard.
No, they did pick the wrong quarterback. I'm sorry.
So then that's it. You're off. You can't.
No.
You can't have it both ways.
You cannot look at Justin Herbert, who is a plus in size, who is a plus in arm strength, plus in athleticism. Tell me the plus that Tua has. Evaluating
accuracy.
Okay, plus.
Yeah, ball placement.
That's accuracy. But
no, ball placement and accuracy are two different things.
No.
Ball placement and accuracy are two different things.
Anticipation.
You can be accurate. You can be accurate and hit it. But to know where you want to put the ball at times, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I mean,
anticipatory skills
anticipatory defense reading. Those are all in one category. There are 5 categories. There are 10 really, but 5 important categories that quarterback evaluators look for and evaluate these quarterbacks. You're right. Tua is a plus in that one prong of a category. And I missed 2 because I saw Herbert and I didn't see that player that I see in the NFL.
No, and Cristobal's system, he never looked like
that. And I heard that as well.
He never even had any. He doesn't have any moments in his career so far that are like, I elevated this team with my arm and I won this game and all that in Oregon. In Oregon, he had no moments like that. None.
You're correct. You're correct.
He didn't beat anybody or anything.
People will say it was the players that he played around. But listen, you cannot deny that he's a plus on size. Yeah. He's a plus on arm strength. He's a plus on athleticism.
Physically, he's awesome. But I've seen plenty of physical guys like that, and they're failures in the league.
Okay, and
so
then,
it doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter to me.
Hold on, let's revisit the 2020 draft because again, I wanted Tua over Herbert.
But that's not what you're saying now.
No.
You're saying now the Dolphins cannot succeed with Tua.
Who said that?
That is what you're writing now.
Who said that? No, I didn't. No,
you just admitted that they took the wrong quarterback. Okay,
yes.
And that they have an unbelievable commitment to him. So you're not believing.
Let me ask you a question.
If you think that it's unrealistic, the dedication that they have to Tua, then you're saying, dude, you got to either crap or get off the pot.
No. I am saying
you can't have both. You can't have both.
Hold on.
Can the Dolphins win a Super Bowl with Tua? Yes or no?
No.
then that's it. You're off.
All
so
right.
if he succeeds from here, you're off. You're not a Tua. You're not believing in Tua anymore. Then
I believe that he's going to be.
I just asked you.
I have never said that he was going to win a Super Bowl. Trust me.
What the hell you drafted him for? What are you
because
drafting
he's
him
going to
for?
be my hope and goal and vision for Tua is for him to become a top 10 quarterback in this league.
I don't care. I don't care about that. I want a Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah, well, too many factors have to happen for you to win a Super Bowl, and there are too many crappy people around.
And Joe Flacco wasn't top 10, and Johnson wasn't top 10.
Hold on. Joe Flacco. Okay. No. Don't do Joe Flacco like that. When Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, he was a top 10-ish quarterback. Maybe 12.
During the playoffs, he went 11 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Don't disrespect Joe Flacco like that.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, but I give Caldwell the credit because when he had Cam Cameron, he wasn't getting it done.
Okay, whatever.
He wasn't all world and he wasn't all top 10 with Cam Cameron, my man.
In the NFL, when he was winning Super Bowls, was a top 10 quarterback in this league. He got a $100 million deal. You don't get those unless you're a top 10 quarterback. At that time when they weren't giving them.
What I want to know is how much money did he give Jim Caldwell out of that $100 million? Jim Caldwell got him that money.
Listen,
all right,
if you're so big on Jim Caldwell, you should be calling people to make sure
this is why I tell you that the Dolphins' issues have been with coaching. Because you can look at Flacco with Caldwell or without Caldwell. Okay? So when they actually get real offensive coaches here, then we'll be able to actually measure some of these players. But now it's official. You're not on the Tua bandwagon.
Fine. If for me to be on the Tua bandwagon, I need to say he's going to win the Super Bowl.
No. There's no for me. You're off.
Okay.
You've been off. You're
all right.
You're done. You're done.
I'm kicked off. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
There's no doubt we've kicked your ass right out of the Tua bandwagon.
I do not deserve my Tua non-membership.
Okay, fine. That's it. There's no problem with that. Poupart isn't on the Tua bandwagon.
No, Poupart.
Shad isn't on the Tua bandwagon. I think it's only me and Cam left on the Tua bandwagon.
Cam who? Wolf?
Yeah.
Cam Wolf ain't on a Tua bandwagon. Cam Wolf is not a Tua believer.
That's what he says here.
No, okay, ask him again.
All the time.
I watched the national championship with Cam and Saf and some friends, and we sat here, all of us, making jokes about Tua.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're giving me that information because we got Cam on at 12:30.
All right, listen. We sat and
your ass out. We'll kick his ass out too.
And all of the jokes were fair, and they were about arm strength. And these are the same things that his teammates joke about, and he gets talked about and mocked.
I know. I saw the Xavier Howard quote you had in the newspaper.
It was not from Xavier Howard. Don't do me like that, Big O. Don't do me like that. Xavier is in Paris. He's enjoying his vacation with his wife.
And he took the time to comment from Paris?
Listen.
From Paris?
Listen, when I wrote the article, he was in transit. Don't even do him like that. But trust me, there are a lot of players on that team who are not as sold on Tua as supposedly this organization, which I don't necessarily believe. Because this is what you say to say. I think it's wrong. This is what you say when Deshaun Watson says, I don't want to be with you no more. Then you say, well, I don't want to be with you either. I got a girl. My girl is fly. I love her.
Okay, so why is it so it's wrong for Baltimore to commit to Lamar Jackson?
No, Lamar Jackson's a top 10 quarterback, the MVP of the league.
Can't pass. All you can do is run around.
Is he an MVP or not?
And finally,
is he an MVP or not?
Yeah, that doesn't mean
yes or no. Say the word.
Hey, what does the MVP do in the playoffs?
Say the word.
No.
Is he an MVP or not?
What does the MVP do in the playoffs?
Is he an MVP or not?
No, he's not. MVP.
He won the award. How is he not?
I don't care. I don't care if he's won the award. The award means nothing to me,
he's
bro.
Won the award. It's given to him.
Nothing to me, bro. half the sports writers in this country actually think he's a really good quarterback or something. They know nothing. They know nothing about him.
He's a good player. He's not a good
He's
quarterback.
a hell of a talent. He's a great talent.
I agree with you. He's not my
pees
style
in
of
his
quarterback.
pants, and he pees in his pants every time he gets to the playoffs.
He was injured this year.
Because when you get to the playoffs, big boys need to play quarterback. And it doesn't matter if you can throw it 100 yards like he can, but he has no accuracy.
Colin Kaepernick.
He has no ball placement.
Colin Kaepernick took a team to the Super Bowl playing the same style. Colin Kaepernick took a team to the Super Bowl playing the same style.
Oh, please. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl without being able to throw 10 yards. I mean, I can play this game with you all day
He
long.
could throw 10. He couldn't throw 20.
My ugly ass has got 55 years of football inside of me. So let's go. I got it all. Let's go.
Listen,
you give me that.
Admit Peyton could throw 10 yards. Admit Peyton could throw 10 yards.
Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl, bro. I can win a Super Bowl with Tua. Of course I can win a Super Bowl with Tua. Hells to the you can win a Super Bowl with Tua.
Listen.
But you need coaching and you need a line. You need an offensive coordinator.
No question. No question. And a running game and a defense and big receivers
and now that
and a
flows
tight
out of here,
end.
watch you get a running back now.
And
now
a perfect team. Yes, you can win the Super Bowl. Yes. When
they win the Super Bowl, you're not on the Tua bandwagon. I just want you to know that.
Okay, I only spent 18 months advocating for them.
That's right, and we're putting your ass in a little Tonka trunk in the back.
I got kicked out.
Tied to it, and we'll drag your ass from 8 miles away. Okay, you're way off the bandwagon. Now.
I believe that the young man he is an NFL starter. There's no discussion that he's an NFL starter. No question.
Oh, we've made some progress.
Stop it. I believe that he can potentially become a upper echelon, maybe a top 10 quarterback in this league in 2023. It's always been my prediction.
This is what they do to try to cover themselves when they
no.
away. When Tua is successful, he's going to say, remember, I know I said I didn't, but remember I told you there's a chance he could be a top 10.
Let me say something. I have spent 14 years being an advocate for the players on that team in terms of issues that they have, things that they want, stances that they take, people getting contracts, people getting extensions. That's what I've done for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have been fighting a very uphill battle regarding Tua with his teammates for going back to last season when he was replaced as a starter. First thing I wrote was, team does not support it. They feel like Fitz got robbed. This goes against everything that we believe in.
At that moment, Fitz was the better player, and the chance gives you the better chance to win. Of course,
if they lined up head to head, if a healthy Fitz, which is not the case, if a healthy Fitz lined up head to head with the Washington Redskins, who do you think? And Tua had this team. Who do you think would win? Who do you think would be the better quarterback on the field?
Oh, okay. Do I have Sean Payton as my coach?
No. No.
Let's play the game the right way now. Let's play. Let me put Tua in New Orleans, and I kick Fitzpatrick.
You put Tua in
the
New
Redskins'
Orleans.
ass,
Listen.
and I send them somewhere else on the other side of the world. Give me Sean Payton and
no
Tua
question.
Patrick's
You
ass
put Tua
10 out of 10 times.
You put Tua in New Orleans in a dome with Sean Payton. He will be a top 10 quarterback if he can stay healthy.
Open air stadium. I don't
care.
No
open air.
Give me a real coach with a real O-line and a running back, and it's over. And the kid is fine. I watched him in Alabama with a real
line,
the same
quarterback
a real
Alabama.
Team.
It is not the same quarterback at Alabama.
Of course, he's not the same quarterback. It's Saban and his staff.
No. That hip injury, and I'm looking into it a little bit more. From what I understand from quarterbacks, and I wish I could read you some of the stuff that I have on my phone, but I'm doing the interview on my phone. Actually, I pull up from my computer. I wish I could read you some of the stuff that I'm learning about hip injuries and quarterback. Hip is what creates velocity. It's not your arm. It's not your arm. It's your hip. Nobody was discussing this back when he was coming back from a potentially career-ending hip injury. But
by the way, I was just talking about that a couple of weeks ago when most of the people in the media and fans, when he skips that pass to Matt Collins, they think it's arm strength, and it's not arm strength. It's just him scrambling from the pocket and
not stepping into it.
He's standing sideways when he's throwing that ball. He can't
all
do that.
Quarterbacks do that.
No, but he can't do that. Drew Brees can't do those things. Bob Greasy can't do those things. He's not an arm quarterback. Those are the big guys. Those are Big Ben and Tannehill and guys that have like strong bodies on the top where they can be all arm. Josh Allen, Herbert, they can do those kind of things. He has to reset himself at that moment so he can put his hips into it so he can deliver that ball to Matt Collins. But because he's under duress, because he's scrambling, it becomes a problem for him in that moment, and he ends up skipping the ball because he can't get his lower body into the throw.
Okay,
and
so I got it. I got it up. This is
that's personal stuff between you and your wife. I don't want to know anything about that. Okay.
Listen.
You didn't pick up on that one either?
No, I didn't.
I got it up. You said I got it up. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
I'm slow on the delivery.
You know, there's 472 people on the chat board. They're all laughing because they all picked up on it. So that means there's 473 people here, 475 with me and Sean, and you're the only one out of 475.
You know what my therapist says? My therapist says that I spend so much time preparing my rebuttal and statement that I do not listen. See, wow. So you and my wife, you got the same complaint. Okay. Can I have my rebuttal, please?
No, you can have your rebuttal and try to find your memory too at the same time. Go ahead.
Don't bring up the memory. That's a totally different issue. Why are you? I told you I got Alzheimer's in my family. It's a sensitive subject.
Don't say that. Don't say that word. Don't say
It's a very sensitive subject. I'm worried. My wife is worried. From a guy who played quarterback at a high level in the NFL, coached quarterbacks, college and the NFL. Okay. Tua is going to be a great backup QB. His issue is he just doesn't have enough plus stuff in any category. Arm strength, athleticism, personality, size, demeanor. Not his fault. He was drafted early in the first round. He didn't draft himself. So then I say, if you put him with Sean Payton, if Sean Payton gets a hold of him with his accuracy and anticipation, could he be a upper echelon starting quarterback? He says the Drew Brees comparison is fair. He just doesn't seem to have the anticipation or the mentality of Brees, or for that matter, Kurt Warner had. He's young, so maybe a Sean Payton type can bring it out of him. The Miami experience has been completely unfair to him. I will say that.
Well, yeah, no, that I mean, that's obvious. Please.
I mean, it is unfair. But listen, everybody goes through adversity in this league. Look at it.
Everybody goes through adversity, period. That's life.
Everybody goes through adversity. If this is the hardest it gets for Tua, look at the Tim Tebow adversity. If this is the hardest it gets for Tua will never have to work a real job a day in his life, ever. Not because of the money he's made in the NFL, not because of the money he'll make the rest of his career if he stays healthy, not because he could go do TV right now for Tim Tebow and spend a decade, if not two, making millions at TV.
Yeah.
If this is the hardest adversity, hell, what's his name?
But it's not. By the way, for the record, Tim Tebow makes a lot of money doing TV. Don't really care about him on TV.
I don't care. He can make a lot of money speaking.
He does nothing for me on TV.
He can make a lot of money on the speaking circuit. It does. Yes, I get you.
He's a way better human being than I'll ever be. But I got to tell you, on TV, there's no entertaining value to it whatsoever.
The point is, and as I was saying, as the advocate for the players, I had to write what I wrote because when there was this word out that there's a total commitment. They didn't have an issue with, okay, Flores lost a power battle with Tua and Greer. I mean, it really was a tag team. So I don't think if Flores was back, I don't think Tua would be back. So
Omar,
okay.
Omar, but it shows how short-sighted Flo is, because if they drafted the kid from the get-go, well, then you as a coach should try to do your best.
He did.
To make him. He did not. He should do your best to try to help him succeed.
Hired
And then
his quarterback
once you've tried, that's not. Please.
Built his college.
You have no offensive line. You didn't want to get a running back. You don't have an offensive line coach. You decided to put Jesse Davis at right tackle.
Jesse Davis.
Only Flo and you would put Jesse Davis at right tackle.
Wow, I would have put Jesse Davis at right guard. And
you don't put Jesse. Jesse Davis is a 6-man. I've told you that from day one. But
listen,
only he would do that. Okay, he did everything.
Jesse Davis played a season with a knee that needed to be fixed and cleaned out, and he shouldn't have.
Well, so why do you play him? So maybe you should keep Flowers and maybe move Hunt to right tackle.
Oh, but when I said that,
I don't know that. No, but that's Flo, not us. You and I can argue whatever we want, but Flo created an environment for the kid to fail. What Flo should have done,
he succeeded.
What he should have done,
he delivered a second winning season.
What he should have done is gone balls out and helped the kid out. And if he fails,
he did that, he would have gotten
then he tells the front office, "Hey, we tried. Now let's go get another guy because this guy's not the guy." But because you didn't try and you created this environment, you also created the big question mark that whether half of us think he can do it and the other half think he can't. And so then that creates the big divide. You didn't get anywhere. Instead of, you should have worked at trying to help him out and trying to create the environment, and you didn't.
They did. They went and got weaponry. They drafted a crap load of resources, used a crap load of resources offensive line. Now they failed. In every area, they failed in terms of giving him the support that he needed. They failed. Not Tua failed. They failed. Flo failed.
Flo failed, right. Like
but
by not playing.
He tried.
Not playing Matt Collins more, not playing Mike Gesicki more.
They played Mike Gesicki plenty.
No, they didn't play him enough. I mean,
that would mean
your best pass catching tight end, bro. You play your best.
He's not a tight end. He's a slot receiver.
Whatever you want to call him, he's still one of your 3 best weapons. It's Waddle.
He's not a good weapon. He's
Holland.
The best weapon.
No, he's a great weapon. The problem is they don't know how to use him. Again, I go back to Sean Payton.
I'm dying to see how Mike Gesicki plays for his next team.
Sean Payton would design offenses for Mike Gesicki, and he would be getting 800 yards a season blindfolded.
If Sean Payton had the cap space, you might be right. I don't know if he does, but I'll look right now.
I'm not worried about the cap space. I'm just saying,
for Gesicki, because I don't think he's
real
coming back.
Coach, and these guys will flourish. But they're not going to flourish if you don't have real coaching. And Flo certainly was not real coaching. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens with the head coach?
Finally? Holy crap. Wait, give me 1 second. The Saints are $73 million over the salary cap?
Yeah. They have a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
The Mike Thomas deal. Yeah. Yeah.
How are you $73 million over the salary cap?
Because they had to pay a bunch of defensive players and a couple of offensive players.
Holy crap.
That's why Teron Armstead may be available for the Miami Dolphins.
Like, how are you $73 million over the salary cap? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you have. Well, yeah. Hey, this. By the way, this is for you. I'm glad you brought it up. This is for you. No, dude, you're the one that says the salary cap is not real.
It's not real. And you know why?
There you go. Well, that is real because that's going to cost them now. It's going to limit them from what they can get.
They just keep pushing things back.
Exactly.
I've been joking about who that coins
Drew
for
Brees,
like 5-6 years.
Yeah, these are it. This is it.
I've been joking about
you keep saying it's not real.
And who that coins.
It's real, bro. It's real. It's going to limit them. And luckily for New Orleans, are you ready, Dolphin Nation? Luckily for New Orleans, Jeff Ireland has kicked ass for them in the draft, finding guys so they can keep them cheap in their first 4 or 5 years. because of those cap issues, they can still be competitive. That's why they pick a Trey Hendrickson. That's why they do the things that they do, and they end up having incredible success. And so you end up having to pay people. And now I think they have to pay the corner. And the corner's kind of a malcontent. So that's going to be a thing now for them. And they traded for another corner, remember, which they have to pay. So that's the problem. They have dealt out a lot of money.
They are about to be rated. Wow.
I know. Yeah.
I haven't done that part of my work yet for the off season.
Yeah, well, those are the examples that tell you the cap is real when you keep
the
saying
cap is not real. What?
You just said they're about to get raked.
They're about to get rated.
What is it? Rated, raked, whatever is going to happen to them. You can't have it both ways.
But them,
you're either Tua or you're not Tua.
The Saints, the Chiefs, the Steelers, every year they're in the same position. Every year they're just fine.
Yeah.
Now I've never seen them $73 million. That's a lot.
Well, that happens when your quarterback keeps putting back money and all that stuff, and you're paying.
Wow, they've been working off.
And then you have to pay Cameron Jordan, and you have to pay all these other guys, dude. They got a bunch of players on their team, dude. They've got a good team over there. They just don't have a quarterback.
They had a good team. They're about to get rated.
Yeah, they're about to lose to Ron Armstead. That's what I'm saying. That might be one of those guys. I don't know what's going to happen yet, so that's why I haven't really gone.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Yet. This is my argument. The cap isn't real because you know what? By the time we get to March 1st, they'll be right where they need to be. And we'll have traded players and we'll have restructured players.
Because they get back down to the number doesn't mean it's not real. It affects them in not being able to add what they need to finish.
Listen,
next year, those $75 million are going to hurt them next year. That's the thing.
Since we're going to do these arguments, the Dolphins have been one of the top dead cap teams for the last 7 years.
Yeah, Tannenbaum.
Yeah, no, not Tannenbaum. Ireland before that. Tannenbaum.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they
don't matter. That's how they do contracts. But you know what? What has it ever stopped them from doing? What has it ever restricted them from? Not a damn thing. Every year they're 74.
It's restricted them from winning. They've never won.
Every year, $74 million in cap space. 2 years ago, they spent more money, $147 million. It's not stopping anything. The cap is not.
No. But don't compare a team that's created cap space to a team that's lost all its cap space.
Yeah,
see, the old Dolphins could be compared to the Saints. The new Dolphins are not compared to the Saints.
No.
They don't have the team of the Saints.
They have never done business like the Saints do business.
No. But what I'm saying is now they're doing different, where they're trying to stay as liquid as possible at times. So they have contracts and they're kind of creative where they can get in and out of all those kind of deals.
Every team has those, but they live off them. Yes. And
now they do.
No, they've done that. They've done that even back to the Parcells years. Don't do that. They've done that. You know who
they were always over the cap. What I'm saying is now they're managing it a little bit better.
It's the same.
With a lot of dead cap money.
I do the business of the NFL better than most people, and there are two players who've ever finished contracts with the Miami Dolphins during my stay here: Randy Starks and free agents that signed contracts. Randy Starks and somebody else. The name escapes me. It's not because of how they do business. They don't do business any different than the majority of teams. The Saints do business different than the Saints, Steelers, Chiefs, and there's another team.
The problem was the Drew Brees stuff that kept rolling over, bro. I mean, that final year was brutal.
You can't be you're $74 million for a reason. I don't know what that reason is.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's some dead money left over. Remember, we had Ndamukong sued dead money for 2 years. We had 19 and 13 million for 2 years. Okay. For the 2 years, I'm sure they're having some Drew Brees money again this season. They had it last year, the first year without him, and they'll have it, I'm sure, again this year. And then they'll have other things.
$11 million in dead money this year. Let me check next year for Drew Brees.
Right. So I bet the number's bigger this year. Like Sue's was 13.
11 and a half this year too.
Okay. So because Sue's was 13 one year and then 19.
They've got $12 million in dead money this coming season. what their issues are, I would have to dig deeper to try to figure this out. They've already got 54 players under contract, so that's a lot. Dolphins.
Oh no, they're gonna have to gut that team quite a bit.
Yeah,
they're gonna have. They may make some trades. That's one guy they're dying to get rid of, but nobody will trade for his, crazy ass because he's just
his cap hit is $24.7 million. If he's cut, you get 22.7 back. So
yeah,
they don't care.
Yeah, but they can't get any the value.
Oh, if he's traded, you get 22.7 back. You can trade him for a 7th round pick and you get cap space.
Problem is who wants him. That's the
somebody's going to take that new deal. Trust me, I've heard his name mentioned here. So
yeah, they can mention it all he wants, but he's a malcontent, bro.
So with a new deal, he becomes a more pleasant individual. But
he would be perfect for this system.
Well, you don't know what system it is. They're going to be building.
No. I do know what system. What I'm saying is, it's not a matter of knowing the system. What I'm saying is,
system.
What I'm saying is, he's an expert at working underneath and possession and getting open.
Quarterback.
Where Waddle will be the guy that can stretch. So what you did with Waddle, you can do with Michael, and then you can make Waddle the X. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. No matter what system you run, it doesn't matter. Michael will be what Waddle was, and then you'll make Waddle what we all wanted him to be eventually.
The question is, how much does he think he's worth, and would he want to play with Tua? He's 28, so this is.
I don't know, man. Michael Thomas is one that's very, very dangerous, man. But the one thing you brought up that you're 1,000% right. The compensation will not be much.
Yeah.
Because nobody's giving up a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round pick for Michael.
They might have to give you a draft pick to
it might be somewhere you just said, like a late pick.
No,
so
but if they cut him,
you're not really taking a major flyer, on the draft.
No, if he's got no guaranteed money, and if they cut him, they get the same savings. So nobody's gonna be they're not gonna give up a draft pick. I haven't done. Usually in the offseason, if I'm not doing a coaching search, I start to dig into all of these things and issues in the business, and it sort of helps me forecast the league. He won't be traded unless there's some team like Sean McVay who says, I must absolutely have him. He'll want to be released so he can go to the highest bidder. But I don't know what his market would be. I'm like, he's 28. The question is, he hasn't been on the field for a full season, but that's more of a issue with his organization than it is.
Well, also being an asshole that he kind of waited to the last moment to have a surgery right before the season.
It's his right.
Early in the offseason.
It's his right. It is his right.
Be a team player. Do it early in the offseason.
You always want them to be a team player, but you never want them.
Hell yeah, I want them to be a team player. You're part of a team. You're part of a team, dude.
Listen, team ain't gonna look out for you.
Omar, you're part of a team.
Listen,
they need
the New Orleans Saints signed him to a 5. Hold on. The New Orleans Saints signed him to a 5-year, $96 million contract in 2019, and want to get out of it after 3 years. Is that a team player? Is that team?
You seen? Dude, you really don't know the issues with Michael Thomas, bro.
I don't care.
You need to look into it. That's you're having a discussion with me, and you have not. Go if you know any of the beat writers, go call those
don't
guys.
Need beat writers. I know his position coach. Talk
to his position coach. If he's honest with you, he'll tell you. Well,
he'll be honest.
Guy's a-hole. Well, find out.
I will. If
it's a guy that can get 100+ catches, and he's really good, and 3 years in, they already want to get rid of him. What do you think is going on behind the scenes?
A business issue. It happens all the time. Usually,
not in New Orleans.
Yeah,
everybody loves playing there for Sean Payton, dude. How many players have been having problems with Sean Payton over the years?
Just because you do realize. Sean Payton nearly left the Saints because he was having issues.
Answer the question for me.
I don't know because I don't cover
Sean
them.
Payton over the years.
I don't know because I don't cover them and I don't pay attention that close.
Nobody, but Omar, if you're an offensive player, how do you not want to play there, dude?
Michael Thomas clearly didn't. Because
that's all you need to know. That's all you need.
There's so many different business issues and financial issues that impact or factor into players' decisions, especially the medical. And I don't judge them one way or the other, because I know when any of the 32 teams decide that, hey, we're going to screw this player, there's nobody who's going to stand up for that player and say, hey, that's not right. He signed a contract. You need to honor your contract. No,
his own teammates were pissed at him for waiting.
When they want to shake you
end
down,
of the offseason to have
when these teams want to shake you down and they want to barter you and try to trade you and force your hand and do whatever their will, there's so many pros that once you get to a certain level as a pro, you don't tolerate or put up with the BS. And that's when they push you out of the league. But if you're a good enough player and at a certain level of a player, they have to tolerate it. And so then you see veterans show up for the one mandatory practice and then the mandatory weekend, and they practice once and they say, okay, I'm done. And they go sit it out. And if they go to voluntary work, it's only the voluntary sessions that the media shows up just to make the organization look good. And then the rest of the time they're like, deuces, I'm out. This is how the NFL works. You just don't know about it because
I know exactly about it, but I know exactly what goes on with Michael Thomas. He's not a good dude. You're actually defending somebody that had an opportunity to get a surgery at the beginning of the offseason so he can be ready for training camp.
His body, right?
No, it's his responsibility.
Is it his body?
Yes.
Is it how he makes money? Is it impacting his career?
Exactly. So,
yes.
So
he has the right to make.
So it's all right for him not to have ready for something he's being paid to do.
Tannehill decided not to have his ACL repaired. It was his choice, his decision, his body.
No, that's stupidity. There's a difference.
Those are our opinions.
Tannehill
you cannot force your opinion about his body on him. That's like telling a woman.
Come on, Omar. What ACL magically repairs itself? That's a moronic move.
Tannehill believed it would.
Hey, I don't care if he's a religious nut or whatever.
Listen,
and he thought he was going to pray to
stem cell procedures,
and his ACL was going to get all strong all of a sudden.
Yes,
come on.
He believed it would.
It's stupidity compared to malicious.
Michael
Thomas is malicious in not having his surgery at the beginning of the offseason.
He probably feels like he extended his career.
Is a freaking moron to think that, hey, I'll just throw some crazy glue in it.
I don't formulate your opinions about it's not their body. How would you feel if as a rights holder in your media entity, I say you need to go put that stint in your heart, and you need to be on an all veggie diet because it's going to make you live longer and you can be better on radio.
Okay, that's a great suggestion.
So are you down? How do you feel about me saying those things?
Look at my fat ass. Do you think I'm going to stick to vegetables?
And you need to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and exercise once an hour a day. No. So, but I am saying that because I have a right as a shareholder in your entity, in your venture. And
that's right. And there's only one difference. I can still do my job.
Okay. They thought they could do their job.
You cannot do your job.
You might not be able. You might think you're able to do your job.
If your ankle is busted, you repair it because you're being paid to be on the field.
And he felt like he repaired it. And then he realized it wasn't repaired good enough.
No. Look it up.
I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it.
To have surgery later. He knew he had surgery. He had to have surgery, and he chose. This wasn't a Tannehill thing that you decided.
No, he tried to rehab it. He tried to rehab it and do everything. Players don't like surgery. You do realize that, right?
No one likes surgery.
No one likes surgery. The minute they cut you open, it'll never be the same.
Omar, nobody likes to go to the dentist too, just in case.
I enjoy the dentist.
I just feel
one of my closest friends is a
nobody
dentist.
likes to go to the proctologist either, Omar. I just want you to know that
I need to go to the proctologist, and
nobody likes to visit the tax man. Just want you to know that, Omar. Okay,
but I will because that's my responsibility.
I
Yes.
haven't seen somebody going, "Yay, I'm getting operated." The hell is wrong with you? Who wants to be operated? I can't wait till next month. They're taking out my appendix.
Listen, when I had knee pain and I had to have my knee scoped, I was excited about my procedure. It was going to put me out of pain.
Well, that was going to take you out of pain. Exactly.
Then I didn't realize that it was going to be 5 times more rehab than they sold me on, and that the pain wouldn't really go away. And right now, if something ever happened to my knee, I'm not sure I do a surgical procedure. I busted up my shoulder and I said no surgery.
Well, guess what? You can still do your job. Ha.
And he can too next year.
Okay. Your editor can say, hey, drag your bum ass knee to practice and get me that story, damn it.
And he can next year. His contract was guaranteed, and he had the right to exert. He had the right to have surgery when he wanted to have surgery. He had the right to treat his injury the way he wanted to treat his injury.
You know what Michael Thomas did, right?
What?
You know what Michael Thomas did, right? He wanted to enjoy his offseason, so he didn't have ankle surgery. And he knew that Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill were the quarterbacks. So he goes, that's your
speculation.
I'm just going by who Michael Thomas is,
man,
and that's the kind of crap that he would be known.
This is why we need I Am Athlete, for these athletes to have the opportunity to speak for themselves.
Oh no, Michael shouldn't have any more opportunities. He's buried himself enough. You have not followed that story, my man.
No.
He's not followed that story. You have not followed Michael Thomas's comments throughout that. Michael Thomas is not a good dude, bro. Not a good dude. Not a good dude. He's a bad dude.
I don't know. You're not going to speculate.
You know there are some bad dudes in the league, right? You know that, right? There's some guys that just are not good people, right? You do know that, right? You can't defend everybody the same way.
Unless, yes, I just covered one. I listen.
Matt Collins is a golden boy. You know, he's awesome to cover. Not everybody's like that. Not everybody's as great a kid as Jalen Waddle, that you can tell he just is a phenomenal young man with great upbringing. That's not the case everywhere. Michael Thomas is neither one of those guys, not even close.
I don't judge players until I get to know them, and your assessment and evaluation of Jalen Waddle, we will see in time. I'm not necessarily.
You don't think he's a good kid?
I don't know him like that, and I've covered him.
You haven't seen him, how he carries himself? He looks like a really good young man. The way he carries himself. No, you don't think so?
I don't make those judgments until I
from what I see, at least.
From what you see, but it's you see what they want you to see.
I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he handles himself in press conferences. I think he's a really good player overall. Oh, because he's kind of boring. I get it. He's not going to give you like the magical answer you're looking for. I get it, but he looks like a great kid to me, man.
You
like he does. He comes off that way. I'm sorry.
I don't apologize.
I apologize if I look at Mike Thomas and he looks like a first-class jerk, and I look at Jalen Waddle and he looks like he's first class.
When Jalen Waddle's complaining and crying about not getting his extension and being forced to play on his 5th-year contract, I'm going to check back in 4 years and see.
Is he holding out? Is he calling people names, or is he just?
I don't know.
Because negotiating is part of everything.
Okay. And you don't think Michael Thomas
when he starts missing practices on purpose, or not getting his operation when he's supposed to, or not getting treatment when he's supposed to,
when he starts getting
DUIs,
when you don't walk
he's
in the
crashing
line
into people and lighting them on fire, then we'll talk.
When you don't walk in line with the team, and then they send their media boys after you and try to portray you as such a horrible human being, and oh, you did this and you're not team first. And man, I've been dealing with that for 14 years. I don't play those games.
No,
I don't. I don't. And that's why the athletes should have the opportunity.
You should carry yourself like a Jason Taylor and a Zach Thomas and those kind of cats. That's it.
You don't think Jason Taylor bossed up on this franchise?
That's right. He did, because he deserved it. But he wasn't a punk about it ever.
Listen, you don't think Zach Thomas bossed up on this franchise?
And he deserved it.
But you're okay with that because you're on their side now.
No. Did Zach Thomas ever do something to hurt the team? The answer is no. No, the answer is no, dude. I watched him his whole career. He never did anything to hurt this team. Did Jason Taylor do that? Did Sam Madison do that? Did Pat Surtain do that? Did Tim Bowens do that? These are guys I covered every day. They never did anything to hurt the team. Mike Thomas did. Mike Thomas chose not to have surgery, and he wasn't available for his team at the beginning of the year. So, I don't even know how many games he ended up playing this year.
He didn't play at all. He didn't play at all. He has a right.
What's there to defend?
There's to defend that you don't know what his issues were with his ankle. You don't know what his rehab program was.
The issues were he didn't have the surgery early so he can be available.
No, you know what the team wants you to think and know. You do. I work in the media. You do.
I go with track record of people, and this is not the only incident that Michael Thomas has had. Him and Sean Payton has had to address several incidents with Mike Thomas. Again, you know what? You're not really following that situation.
I'm not following that situation, but I know how the situation. I know how
you're arguing with me about it. Every
receiver's out for themselves. Every receiver doesn't care about the team. It's the same old song all the time.
You didn't even think that Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas are anywhere near Michael Thomas.
No, what I'm saying is
insanity.
What I'm saying is that every player is their own franchise. And how you do business with your franchise, especially regarding your health care and medical care, in my opinion, is your business. Now, how it impacts the team, oh well. But you need to, as a player, advocate for your franchise and your business. And if Mike Thomas says sitting out this season, getting paid the same amount of money and sitting out the season is what's best for Michael Thomas, the franchise, wherever I end up next year, 2 thumbs up for me. And whether it was Jason Taylor or Zach Thomas or Sam Madison or Jalen Waddle, it don't matter who does that. In this situation, whenever it comes to a player and his own medical care or treatment, I never and will never say, oh, he's taking the wrong approach. Never to this day, even though I believe it, Ryan took the wrong approach. I believe it, but you know what? Ryan did what was in the best interest for Ryan Tannehill. And you know why? Because he's sitting on his second $100 million deal.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Ryan won. Ryan Tannehill,
in that case,
won.
I really can't argue with you on that one because Ryan missing time, I don't miss him. So it doesn't really matter.
Oh, come on. Jay Cutler was horrible that year. That's $10 million.
It's your boy, Jay Cutler.
Stop it. Let's stop it.
Follow him on Twitter.
Jay Cutler was great until you started hitting him. And then he made business decisions.
That's not good.
Yay.
There's apparently for you in your world, it's all right to screw your team any way, shape, form you can.
No, listen.
There is no commitment to team in your world. It's all commitment to I.
Screw team.
Yeah, exactly.
You come on, Big O. This is the first time. You know I don't believe in team. I don't believe in that bullshit.
Oh, I mean, the ones that do believe in team usually end up winning.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
At the end of the individuals like a Terrell Owens and a Randy Moss.
Oh, stop!
Somehow or another have no rings.
Randy Moss.
They have no rings. Wow, man.
You have
I, and you got no rings, dude. I. I'm just saying.
Listen, there are plenty of. Listen, every player, and I have conducted business like this my entire career. Every player is their own. There are 53 individual franchises on a team, and you have to do what's in the best interest of your franchise. The team is going to want to shoot you up and push you out there
Yeah. No, I get that. I get all of that.
Who was it? Somebody was playing last weekend. J.J. Watt and all these guys. Cam Akers. I'm like, you're a moron. You are truly a moron to be jeopardizing the future of your career to get out there for a team to play in the playoff game. Like, are you coming back 4 months after a surgically repaired shoulder? Like, man, you could do so much long-term damage to yourself. Like, you need to be looking out for franchise number 1 of 53, not the team. All that team bull crap you sell, don't buy it. Never have. Because when the team wants to do things and they want to justify trading away Eric Flowers to move down 14 spots, they don't do crap that's in the interest of the team. Keeping Eric Flowers would have been the interest of the team. They do crap to satisfy their own agenda.
That's your boy Flo that wanted to get rid of Flowers. I mean,
but it was the team.
Got no control. We got no control over stupidity.
It was in the best interest of the team. Yes, the team. Man, listen.
No more
I've heard all those lies.
No more covering up for Flo. That's the good thing.
What?
Okay. No more covering up for Flo. See, that team responded so well that he wasn't talking to his people the second half of the season. They went on a winning streak. While the idiot was, meddling, they went 1-7. So that's all you need to know. All right, we got Cam Wolf that you exposed coming up next. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel and make sure you support Omar Kelly and Ira Wyndham and all the other great writers there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Have a great weekend, my brother. All right. Remember, you're on Monday.
Yeah, on Monday, and I'm off to and on. Ejected.
Yeah, you've been kicked out. Yes, you have been kicked out of the bandwagon.
All right, bye.
Later. That's Omar Kelly, baby, and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed. No. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Oh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slowens, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
There we go. All right. Welcome back. Hope you all are doing well out there. Hope you're taking advantage of buying that dip, buy that dip, buy that dip. Yeah, baby. Buy that dip. That's what it's all about, baby. Buy that dip. Oh. Telling you. Better take advantage. Better take advantage, folks. Better take advantage. All right. Hope you all are doing well out there. Final hour. Cam Wolf will be joining us shortly. We'll get into it. Jay Gelfin says, I got on late today. Did O talk about Meatloaf passing? No, I have not mentioned, I think I have not mentioned Meatloaf passing. He passed at the age of 74. I know I tweeted it out. Bat out of hell, which, by the way, I'm going to a meeting when I get out of here. Seems like I'm in meetings every day now with different folks that are coming on to the program and joining us, which we're blessed. And thank you all out there. Those of you that want to be a part of our program, you can reach out to us on our Twitter page at our DMs, text line 855-912-1056. If you want to become a sponsor, our business line is 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. That's the business line, only for sponsors, by the way, okay? Not anything else. All right, so you won't get a call back for anything else. But appreciate it all out there. And yes, Bat Out of Hell, one of the great rock albums of all time, a masterpiece. And like I said, I'm going to a meeting right after this, and I'm going to be jamming a little Bat Out of Hell in honor of Meatloaf. But rest in peace, Meatloaf, man. Tough one there for him. But 74 is not too bad. Not too bad. I think if you can get to the 75, 80, 85 range, I think you've lived a pretty good life overall, man. All right. Luke says, Bat Out of Hell, top 10 classic. It is. It's an amazing album, and great vocalist too. Really. All right, let's continue. Let's talk a little Dolphins and our Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Miami Dolphins, and NFL report with the one and only Cam Wolf.
We unleash the Wolf Pack. as we get the latest in the NFL and Miami Dolphins with our Fort Lauderdale Police Department Pro Football Report with insider Cameron Wolf. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is an equal opportunity employer. The department is now hiring uncertified and certified police officers. Go to flpdjobs.com. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
Hey, I gotta say, pretty funny. Some of you on the text line now, you're calling Omar Flomar. Okay, so now you know, Cam, you got to call Omar Flomar now. Okay,
what Flomar nickname? What happened?
I guess his defense of Flo in the interview at times or whatever. He felt that Flo did everything possible to assist Tua, and I just don't think that was the case. But whatever. Anyway. So before we start into the Dolphins, you are, I would imagine, headed out to Tennessee tomorrow or something like that?
I'm not in Tennessee this weekend. Finally, not in Tennessee for for a game. So I won't be there this weekend. If they make it to the AFC Championship game, there's a good chance I'm there, but not this weekend.
All right. Is that a Phillies hat?
It is a Phillies hat.
Okay. Are you a Phillies fan?
I am a Phillies fan. I used to live in Jersey and Philly for 8 years. So I got a lot of grew up in Allen Iverson era, the Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard era. So that was all me. So I'm definitely still a big Phillies fan. They haven't been very good for us recently, but you got to stick with it. That's fandom.
Yeah, and they spent a lot of money too trying to get over the hump. I have a soft spot for the Phillies, the Flyers, and the Sixers because I'm born and raised here in South Florida. And I only had the Dolphins, and then the Strikers came after in the late 70s. And so then, they started adding basketball and baseball and hockey after. So I became my Panthers and Heat and Marlins fan, and I dropped those teams, actually. But that's because I was a Dr. J guy, a Mike Schmidt guy, the Broadway Bullies, all that kind of stuff. That was my era.
Yeah.
And my dad was a trucker. So we used to go up to Philadelphia and in Dover, those two cities. They used to have a lot of auctions for trucks. And so we would buy the cab and the flatbed, and then he'd bring them down here, and then he'd put dump trucks on it, so it can carry loads and all that, and we'd ship them down to Panama because back in the 70s and very early 80s, Panama went on a craze. I don't know if you've ever been to Panama City in Panama, but there's a bank in every corner of downtown Panama because they were washing money for drug dealers all over the world in those days. So there was a craze to build banks in Panama, and they needed the trucks. Right. So my dad kind of spent for like 10 years shipping trucks down there, and I would go up to Philadelphia all the time as a kid. That's how I became a Phillies, Sixers, and Flyers fan.
Now that's a cool story.
I would go to the Spectrum to go see him. I went to Vet. I went to the 80 World Series, so it was cool. It was good stuff, man. It was fun. But obviously, I no longer root for those teams, but I do have a soft spot in my heart. I got a 6-foot poster of Dr. J to my left here in the studio. Him dying, So yeah, dude.
Yeah, man, I still got a lot of it in me, man. My wife gets on me because I watch probably every Phillies game during the season. I got them on my phone. She doesn't let me watch it on the TV because she doesn't do baseball for 3 hours. But I'll sit there watching my phone as they blow another game, and I don't know why I continue to do it to myself. Their bullpen is always bad, but it's in me, And same for the Sixers, man. I'm frustrated by the Ben Simmons situation because Joel Embiid is having another great year, looking like an MVP. And we're just
not wired right. He's just not wired right, bro.
Yeah,
he's soft.
Yep.
He's
yep.
soft.
So,
hey, listen.
And as you know, spending time in that city, you can't be soft. You can't be a soft dude.
You can't be soft, period, in pro sports, dude. You're soft in pro sports, you're done. Doesn't even matter what city you're in. You're gonna get sliced up. So yeah, it's just one of those things that it's kind of screwed up with what's going on there. With that Simmons situation. All right, let's go over quickly on the playoff games.
Yep.
I like the Titans in this game because I don't believe in the Bengals defense. I just don't think they have enough. And if Henry's playing, I just think he's going to have a monster game overall. I like the Titans in this game. You like the Titans in this game?
Yeah, I do. And I actually talked about this a lot on NFL Network this week. One thing that's probably underrated is we talk about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Well, the Titans' defensive front is actually really, really good, and they get home without blitzing. So I think they'll be able to slow down that train and get just enough on offense. And Derrick Henry, like you said, is back. He's going to start. The other element is that because Derrick Henry's there, they're going to load up the box, which means that your guy, Ryan Tannehill, should have a lot of one-on-one coverage.
Oh, yeah. Those slants are going to be open forever.
The play action game is going to be easy because you got 8 men coming for Henry, and it's just piss and catch behind you. So I think it's going to be a nice day for Tannehill because they're going to load up on Derrick Henry.
Yeah, no, I believe that. And I still think Derrick is going to run all over them because they're not good. By the way, the great Isaiah Prince is one of the guys protecting Joe Burrow. So,
good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. I like Packers over the Niners on this one only because their defense, and I just don't trust Jimmy G. I've always been a Jimmy G guy, but I've come to the realization that while Jimmy's a good quarterback and you can win with him, but that brain fart seems to happen at one point or another. And this is the kind of moment I give the Packers defense the edge here. And with Aaron Rodgers, I'm going Packers here on this one. I'm even laying the 6.
Okay. We're twinsies on the Packers. I don't know if I'd lay the 6. One thing to watch, this is a sneaky upset.
By the way, you laying the 3.5 with the Titans?
I'd lay the 3.5 with the Titans. I don't know if I'd lay the 6. It's a sneaky upset possibility. And the only reason I'm a little scared here, and Packers I told you this before, I think the Packers are going to make the Super Bowl. But when I watched the 49ers against the Cowboys, they played bully ball. They were out physical them. And that's the one question about the Packers. Are they physical enough? They've got Aaron Rodgers. They've got Devontae Adams. They're getting a lot of playmakers back. But if you're getting a team where you got Deebo Samuel running across the middle on all these slants, can you tackle in the open field? They could win an ugly game. I wouldn't be shocked if they went in there and win an ugly game. But if the Packers offense rolls like it should roll, then they're not going to be able to score enough points to keep up with A-Rod and whatnot. So that's one thing to watch, but definitely give me the Packers. I just don't know about the 6 points.
And I'm with you. I think Packers are going to make the Super Bowl. At first, I thought Bucks, but with all the injuries, and now he's hurting on the O-line, so that leads me to the next game. I'm going Rams. I'm taking the 2.5.
Yeah.
I think the Rams are going to win with that defense. The fact that he now only has – I know Mike Evans is awesome, but I think these are the moments now where you're going to miss – Godwin and Brown as real difference makers overall. Plus, he's got his tackle banged up, who's been in a boot all week. I'm going to give even though Matt Stafford, by the way, talk about brain farts and also the stupid interception, like I would talk about with Garoppolo.
Right.
Stafford has that tendency too. The question is, will the Rams be able to play the game they played last week? The one that doesn't put Stafford in the position that he has to carry you. Just facilitate.
The guy that I'm watching in this game is Von Miller. I actually covered Von for 2 years in Denver. He played Brady those years often, and the formula to get to Brady is hit him. And I remember the run the Broncos did. They did it with their defense first. They hit Brady 22 times in the AFC Championship game, and they beat him. The Rams have to get home on Tom Brady to be able to beat him. This is the one I'm most up in the air with, but for some reason, I just can't pick Stafford over Brady. So I'm going to go Tampa here. I think that Tom Brady ends up leading a final drive where it's a field goal or touchdown, or Stafford throws a pick at the end. I just think at the end, if it's a really close game, you go with the better quarterback. And so I believe in that Rams defense. I believe in Von and Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. I just don't believe in Matt Stafford enough to think that he gets Brady.
I agree. They're going to have to play the game they played last week, but I'm going to give the I'm going to take the 2 points, 2.5 points. I'm going to lay it on the Rams, man. I think that defense is going to be the difference maker, and they're going to do what you said. They're going to harass Brady, like whether the Broncos or the Giants, when they had their success against them, they were able to harass the hell out of Brady.
Saints did the formula this year. Saints beat them twice, including 9-0, and all they did was send their front four and just get after him, play man coverage. And like you said, only Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Antonio Browns. So you have Mike Evans and Gronk. So if you can figure out a way to get those guys covered, then you force Tom to hold on to the ball, and that's when you get those sacks. So I wouldn't be shocked to see it go either way. But, forced to pick, I think I'm going to go with Tom Brady at the end over Matt Stafford.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against Brady. Bills at Chiefs. I'm going Bills. The Chiefs, I know, have played better football, but I still think the Bills are the better team right now. They're the better defense overall. Josh Allen is playing a little better than what he was in the middle part of the season, where there were some erratic moments. I'm going to lean Bills on this one. The line is Chiefs 2.5. I'm taking the dog again. I'm taking the points here. I'm going Bills. How about you?
Yeah. This is my one dog pick of the week. I definitely am taking the Bills as well. This is another one where you got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback, quote unquote. But I have seen too much up and down from the Chiefs offense. And I think the Bills, and Sean McDermott knows Andy Reid well, can dig up a formula to be able to get Patrick Mahomes in one of those bad games that he's had so often this year. And Josh Allen in a cold weather game running the ball, can the Chiefs do enough defensively? They've been better over the second half of the year, but that's a defense that still has a lot of holes. I actually see the Bills being able to win this game maybe comfortably. I definitely am cool with the 2.5. I could see them winning by a touchdown or more. I just think the Bills have a statement to make, and I think they're going to make it to the Sunday.
All right, so today we officially we got Omar completely off the Tua bandwagon, because he likes to play both sides of it and all that. But his X's and Omar with Dave Hyde this week, we had to corner him and say, no, you got to get off you got to crap or get off the pot. And he finally admitted he's off of it. Now in the process, he threw you under the bus.
Yeah.
Because he said that you guys were together the other night watching, and you guys were making arm jokes.
Yes.
So apparently you might be also off the Tua bandwagon. You don't think that Tua can be a winner for the Miami Dolphins. Yay or nay?
I am not off the Tua bandwagon. I still believe that they can win with Tua. We were making arm jokes, mostly because we were drinking and it was funny. And I do have questions about Tua's arm. Let's not get it wrong.
He doesn't have a big arm.
I do believe that you can win with Tua, but let's be real. His arm is not the high caliber arm that you may want from an elite quarterback. Is never going to be super pretty. It does look like he's stressing sometimes when he throws those 50 yards bombs. Let's just be real with it. And I do want to see more velocity. But unlike Omar, I do believe that you can win with different styles of quarterbacks. So I don't need my quarterback to be a 60, 70-yard bomb down the field, a fancy football star. That's not what I need. I need my quarterback, and if it's accuracy, we've talked about this several times. What's your superpower as a quarterback? So Tua's superpower at his best has been his accuracy and his ability in the pocket to have presence and really be able to excel in that. So
and anticipation skills.
And anticipation, right? So I've seen him near 70% with the accuracy this year. He held up with a terrible offensive line, a lot better than he probably should have. Now he needs to be consistent with those areas, and I need to see him more in fourth quarters and big moments. So I'm not like a rose-colored eye Tua guy. I'm not like, hey, Tua can do no wrong. Yeah, he can do plenty wrong. He's done plenty wrong this year, but I have not seen enough from Tua to say, hey, I'm done with him. I want to see a year 3 from him, and I still believe that you can win big with Tua as your quarterback. So, I think that makes me still okay. I'm not at the front. I'm not driving the Tua train like you are, Big O. But
I'm driving it, baby.
I got to see.
I'm driving that damn train, and I'm hoping that somehow or another he well, look, for me is the bottom line. They have to help him. They have to give him some, like I said, like I tweeted out the other day. Give him what Matt Stafford has. Give him what Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston has. Give him what Ryan Tannehill has. Give him what Kirk Cousins has. That's all I'm asking.
Right.
Give him one of those kind of teams, and let's find out.
Yeah.
I think he'll win with those kind of teams. I think he wins. All right. More than even the guys that are there with those kind of teams. I think he wins.
Right.
All right.
And we talked about this, Big O, the last time. What was this, Tuesday? And so, I have more questions about Tua than maybe you have. So, I think this is a very important year for him.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think that I need to see more evidence that he can't be that guy. I think, in my opinion, we give up on quarterbacks way too soon in this league. I think we do a little bit too much. Are they pretty enough? It's kind of like, hey, if you're finding a girl on the street, you try to find the prettiest girl, right? But then you find a girl, she may not be the flashiest, the prettiest. You know, you might find that she might be a 7 or 8, but she fits perfectly with you, right? And you that works better than this shallow 10. So that might be Tua. He may never be the prettiest, or you might always have another quarterback who is going to be flashier, bigger arm, throws for more yards, has more fantasy points, but can you win with them? Can he count on them? So Tua still has to prove that he can be that guy that you can win with consistently, that you can count on in the fourth quarter. But I've seen enough evidence in those moments, not the arm moments, not the big throws, all those things. I haven't seen enough in there. And I don't know if we'll ever get there, but I've seen enough flashes that I think that he can take command of the right offense with the right scheme and win. So that's really where I am with it.
All right. Reports come out now that Jim Caldwell he interviewed in Chicago and Jacksonville, but now told the Vikings and the Raiders that he's not interested in an interview. So the question is, what are you hearing about Caldwell? Has he been mentioned for the Dolphins at all? Maybe they already interviewed him, but the report now says that they think he might be already trying to gather a staff together. So
Yeah,
are you hearing anything?
Yeah, I haven't. There has been no word that Jim Caldwell was interviewing for the Dolphins job, and there's no indication that he will. So I'm sorry, Big O, that it's not looking like Jim Caldwell is going to be the next Dolphins head coach.
No, I hear it's Dable. I hear they want Dable. I want Caldwell, but I hear they want Dable actually.
So we'll get on that for a sec, the Dable thing. But Jim Caldwell, the team that I've heard the most from him is Chicago. Bill Polian, who's really close with Jim Caldwell, he hired him in Indianapolis, is a big part of that search in Chicago. And I've talked to Bill Polian several times over the year, and he raves about Jim Caldwell. So if he's going to end up being the guy who has a significant say, then my belief at this point is that it'll be Jim Caldwell who's that coach. You got a guy like Justin Fields, so we always talk about Jim Caldwell, what he did with Peyton Manning, Matt Stafford, some of these other guys. Flacco, the guys he's got the most. Justin Fields, a guy who needs a guy to really groom him and get the most out of him, and that's really a great spot for him. So I'd actually
that also tells me if he's taken that job, it also tells me he's going to control his general manager.
There is no general manager there yet. Exactly. So that gives him a little bit more say there. And as you know, Jim Caldwell's not a big power guy. He doesn't need to have control over everything, but he wants somebody he can gel with and have the right chemistry with. So they might have two hires who are not big, flashy names. And we talk about that. I hate that we get so consumed in these big names for coaching searches, but they may have a low-key head coach and Jim Caldwell and a low-key GM. But, you're in a big market, Chicago. You got a big quarterback. Let's be low-key for once. So I think I that would be my belief on where they go. And that takes one job off the board. That might actually be done. That might be the first job done. I wouldn't be shocked if that would be the case.
I think I brought this up yesterday or the day before. I'm not exactly sure. But and now with this Caldwell thing, I'm just going to try to piece a chain together here. And I think it's kind of been told to us, all right, in a way. One of the things I said that what Chris Greer needs to do now, and I don't need to tell him this, you don't need to tell him this, nobody needs to tell him this. He knows this by himself. He's got to hire the right coach or he's gone. There's no doubt about that. He knows that, right? But he's been the guy that always has appeased. And so one of the things I say to Chris and to Marvin and to Reggie, that if you guys are going to run this franchise, you go pick the players. Have a coach that can make a suggestion, but don't give them power like you did with Gase and like you did with Flo, because that will burn you. Because then you really don't know who's doing what and why and this and that. And then we're sitting there going, well, who picked this? Who picked that? Who picked that? And we know that the coach had a lot of influence on everything going on. So get a coach that can make a suggestion, but not has the power to say, no. He cannot go on my team. You got to trade this guy. Go cut this guy right now. Can't do that. Philbin did that every other day to the front office. He'd walk in there. I can't coach this guy. You can't do that. So, one, you've got to take the power. Two, he actually has told everybody, the organization has said, we're moving forward with Tua.
Yeah.
So that's actually step one in saying, we're now taking over. Okay. We're going to hire a coach and we'll work with him, but we're not going to bend over backwards for the coach. The coach will coach the players we give him. I think that's what's coming on. And then you look at Caldwell's decision now, and you see that he's not going to be able to control his GM here because the GM is already in place. Right.
So now he's going there where he will have probably more influence in personnel.
Right.
So maybe that's what's developing here in Miami. When I'm reading through the tea leaves and things developing, maybe these guys finally are going to fully take over in personnel, and not that way they can actually be measured properly and not have to, oh, well, he didn't want Kyle Van Noy and he didn't want Eric Flowers and he doesn't like Tua and he wanted this guy or that, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the way you should do it. Like, there are very few coaches who can do the dual job. Bill Belichick's done it with whatever varying results. He had a good year, I think, this year, but sometimes he hasn't been as good, but there's not a lot of coaches who can do both at a very high level, and that gets you fired. Like, Bill O'Brien got fired in Houston, not because he wasn't a good coach. He was a terrible GM, good coach. You just, it gets you fired. One of the two gets you fired. Why would you sign up for two jobs when only one of them can get you fired on a given chance? Focus on what you're best at. So I think you're right. I have more questions than you do about Chris Grier. Can he build a Super Bowl roster? I know you're a Chris Grier believer. I need to see more evidence. I think he had a really good
and Allen and McKenzie.
Right.
Like
right. And both of those are really good evaluators. I'm with you on that. But the 2021 draft is the first draft that I've seen for them since I've been covering this team where I'm like, they did a great job that draft. Every other draft, it's been or 2020 where we're like, what are we doing? So I need to see.
Hold on a second. If this coming year you get your O coordinator and your O-line coach and Tua plays well,
yeah,
the 2020 draft becomes successful because you get Tua, you got Raekwon Davis, and you got Brandon Jones. Whatever happens with Jackson and Iggy are icing on the cake already at that point.
So
yes. Wait a minute. I think I'm missing. There's another player on that draft besides Raekwon and Robert Hunt. So you're already hitting on three guys possibly in that draft.
Right.
If you hit on Tua and you do find your quarterback, so we don't really have to dwell so much on Jackson and Iggy because you've hit on a couple of others. If you hit on the quarterback, that 2020 draft completely changes.
So yes, and that's why they always tell you don't judge a draft class before 3 years because you still have time. But my thing is that was the draft class to change this organization, right? Because it wasn't a normal draft class. It was a draft class where you had 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a third-round pick that was very high. So in a normal year, if you get 2 or 3 studs in your first 3 rounds, you're like, hey, that's great. But when you have 6 picks in your top 80 selections, you're expecting most of those guys to be, franchise plugs or at least solid players. So, there's still a question, at least a question. You're further along the scale. I'm somewhat on the scale, and there's people who are completely off the scale, but on Tua, and that's going to be the main thing. Your other 2 first-round picks are also big question marks. So though Robert Hunt's been good, Robert Hunt's been decent, I would say.
Right. With a good O-line coach, he'll become a solid player.
Right. Raekwon Davis has been good. I'd like to see him as a little bit more of a pass rusher, but he's been stout inside. And Brandon Jones in his role, which I'm going to be interested to see how the new defensive coach uses him because he's not a true cover guy. He's a blitz guy, and he's a in the box guy, which is a little bit of a niche role. You still have to use him that same way. I love the way they used him because it was perfect for his skill set. But those guys have been good players for you, right? But everything's going to be defined on the quarterback and those 3 first-round picks. So I think that's still the jury out on that. But, I'm willing to, they're keeping Chris Grier. It is what it is. I want to see him going for 2022 draft, free agency as well, because, Flores was a big part of it. So we're not going to take him out of it. But Flores and Grier whiffed on 2021 free agency, and they whiffed on 2020 free agency. A lot of those guys they ended up trading away, giving away. We don't even want to talk about Will Fuller and the disaster it was. So you have to build this team by getting the right pieces, and that's a personnel deal. So I'm with you. I think that you should let the guys, Grier, Allen, McKenzie, do the thing, but that means that the pressure's on them. There's not going to be there's not going to be a fall guy anymore. You can't blame Flores for taking the wrong guy if he's not here.
That's what you did with Flores. You put all the heat on yourself now. So it doesn't matter who the coach is. Now the focus is on you guys now because you're hiring the coach and you're taking care of personnel. So now it's all on you. All right, one more thing before I let you go. Give me the percentages on X getting traded from 1% to 100%.
I say it's
100% that he gets traded, but
so I need to understand a little bit. I know we're running out of time, but I need to understand a little bit why you're so eager to trade X. Why are you so eager to trade the best player on the team?
One that knee is going to give out at one point or another. You can't have that many scopes and it not going to pay off. I know whatever treatment he had, and he thinks he's going to be all right, whatever, and he's going to want more money. 2, you cannot keep both corners and pay for everybody that you got to pay for to bring back on your current roster and add at least 2 offensive linemen in free agency or trade. You're going to have to acquire via trade or free agency at least 2 offensive linemen, experienced ones, to improve that line. So you have so much money that you have to spend. And I know they have 70 million, but that ain't enough. When you start having to re-sign everybody and go get those linemen who are going to be expensive in free agency, your money's going to go away. So it's really hard to keep everything together. The other thing is, he's approaching the 30-year-old mark. He's 28, going to be 29, I think, in the next season, I think.
Yeah, he's 28 now. He'll be 29 in July.
Exactly. So you're talking about a guy that is already getting up there in years. He's had several scopes. He always wants money. And if you look at it, I love the whole PFF thing that they threw out, that he was the number 1 corner from weeks 10 to 18. And yet, let me see. I wrote it because I found it hilarious. Weeks 10 through 18, they played the Ravens, Jets, Panthers, Giants, Jets, Saints, Titans, and Patriots. 0 elite passers during that.
So Big O, though.
So my point is, long term, you should not keep him because you've got a lot of responsibilities. 2, the risk isn't worth it because that knee will give out, and then when it does give out, you'll never be able to trade him. He actually had a good season. His stock is as high as it can be. Do it now. It's a tough decision. It's not an easy decision, but that front office has had a lot of success picking secondary guys. Go find yourself another guy and sign a veteran player to back him up. You play Iggy and you have the veteran and you hope to replace him, and you move on and you're able to sign everybody because X is going to want more money on top of what you got to pay him.
A lot of success drafting secondary guys like Noah Igbenogany, right?
But there's Nick Needham, there's Byron Jones you added, there's X, there's they have had success. It's only Noah. And by the way, we can't say Noah can't play. He doesn't play. He's only played a couple games. Let's wait till
I can tell you if you think you're replacing X with Noah and that there won't be much of a drop-off, you will
I never said that. I said play him to find out if he can actually play. Because I've seen guys that look like they can't play, and then all of a sudden they take the field, and the light finally goes on, and they get it going. I forgot to tell Omar, because he was saying, he wrote this whole thing about that not all the players in the locker room believe in Tua. Well, I know of a very prominent Miami Dolphin, okay, while I was a beat guy, goes to me, we're talking about Paul Soliai in his first 2 years. And he looks at me, goes, that guy can't play. That guy will never be a player in this league. And we're talking about one hell of a player that told me that. Mm-hmm. Even players don't know if other players can play.
Right. Yeah, and that's true. That's true. I always remember that Tyreek Hill say he thought that Patrick Mahomes sucked when he was a rookie.
There you go.
Now, he decided by the end of that year he was wrong. But
that's the problem with some of us, is that we make a determination on some of these guys when we haven't even seen them enough, when they haven't played enough. And especially a guy like Noah, that if he was a receiver, it's going to take him a little while because he's got to develop the instincts to be a natural corner in this league. Will it be overnight? Hell no, dude. But he's never going to develop if you don't play him.
Right. Ever. So I'll end with this on the X Iggy situation. Just kind of my overall thoughts. I do think there's a chance they trade X this offseason. I think it's very real. I think that there's going to be a money question because X is going to want more money. The way his contract was set up, they didn't sign a good deal initially, and now he is trying to get his money back to get security, right? There's always going to be a question about his knees, right? Because he does have those knees injuries in past. But I will remind you that, and I think I've told you this before, the Dolphins bet against his knees when they drafted Noah in the first round. That was essentially a bet saying we don't believe in his knees. We don't think that he's going to hold up. We think we're going to have to end up cutting him or trading him within the next year. And that's why we're drafting Noah. 2 years after that, X puts up.
And the domestic issue.
Right. He had the domestic issue completely after. The 2 years following that,
he signs the contract and then has a domestic issue.
Right.
Right.
Which no excuse for the domestic issue. He actually got that swept under the rug a lot more than he should have, honestly. But the year on the football field, the 2 years after that, he puts up 10 interceptions, probably the best cornerback in football. And then this year has a really solid year, a Pro Bowl caliber year in the 2 years following. So, yeah, you can still believe, hey, maybe his knees get out. But what I've seen the 2 years since the Dolphins bet against his knees, they've been wrong, and he's proven them wrong. So until I get the full evidence that, hey, those knees are out, I'm going to give him 2 or 3 more years to be himself.
But that's the problem. They
and let me finish. If you talk about age, Byron Jones is the worst of the 2 corners.
But you can't trade that contract.
He's getting paid more money, which was a flow decision, a mistake, which X is about. And you talk about age, Byron Jones is about to be 30. So he's the older of the 2 corners.
But you can't trade that contract.
Right.
And you can't. X will bring back serious value. Byron will not. Byron is a lot like Michael Thomas that we just talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. If the Saints want to trade Michael Thomas, everybody knows the Saints are so cap-strapped. They know he's a first-class a-hole, so they're dying to dump him and his big-ass salary that you're going to give up very little to acquire Michael Thomas because you're basically doing them a favor by getting rid of him. That's kind of the same situation here that you're doing them a favor. So in the Byron Jones thing. So X is a very manageable contract right now until you have to pay him again. So might as well. But here's the thing that I was going to follow up on what you were saying. Every reporter, including you, will then rip him if you do sign him to a long-term contract, and then a year later, that knee gives out. And now you're stuck for the next couple of years with big-ass cap hits, and that knee will never respond again. And
I don't believe I'd rip him for that. I think that's a deal worth making. You take a mitigated risk. You do that for a reason. You protect yourself. You give him 2 years of guarantees and call it a day. If he gets hurt in year 1 for whatever reason, then that is what it is. But you give him 2 years of guarantees, 3 or 4 year overall deal, and everybody's happy. And you ideally get the last 2.
You think he's going to be happy? You think he's going to be happy?
Yeah. If you get, he has no guaranteed money on it. He doesn't have a choice. He has no guaranteed money on that deal other than a few incentives and a few different triggers for this upcoming year. You give him 2 years guaranteed, he won't come back for money again. I promise you that.
All right. Follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Cameron Wolf, and catch his exceptional work there at the NFL Network. He'll be home watching the playoffs this weekend, and we will catch him next week here on the program. Have a fantastic weekend, young man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Big O.
Thank you. There you go. The great Cameron Wolf, baby, from the NFL Network, our Fort Lauderdale Police Department, NFL, and Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the Fort Lauderdale Police Department Pro Football Report with insider Cameron Wolf. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is an equal opportunity employer. The department is now hiring uncertified and certified police officers. Go to flpdjobs.com.
There we go. All right, man. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Let me see. Thanks to Cam Wolf, man. Good stuff there. By the way, I saw that hailstorm story. Their bus catching fire. Thank the Lord nobody got hurt. I saw Clutch announced tour dates. No South Florida date. Although they are going to Daytona for Rockville on May 19. I wanted Clutch to come on down here, man. They're so good. So good. All right, what else do we have here on the show? Let me make sure. Let me check stuff here from you all, just in case we got some stuff here to talk about. Let's see. First of all, thanks to Ray Grullon. I appreciate you, my man, as always. He says, flip flop Omar, shaking my head. Good Lord. That's why we had to get Omar on the record finally, because he's been playing both sides of the whole thing. And I'm like, yo, come on, man. You can't play both sides. You're not on the bandwagon. And listen, it's understandable. Those of you out there, your size queens, your arm queens, and oh my God, a quarterback has to be 6'5" and throw the ball 100 miles an hour and all that good stuff. I get it. I understand. That's your opinion. I disagree with you, but that's your opinion. Andrew Lowe, thank you, sir. A little love on Venmo. He says, love that you're doing a Saturday show with Reasons. Can't wait. Appreciate it. Yep. Looking forward to it. Should be fun. I don't really know the young man. We haven't really gotten to know each other. And he reached out, and I know that he's a guy that a lot of people like him in the Dolphin world. So I figured that would be a good matchup with me and Reasons to have a little fun. So on Saturday, we will do a show. I think it's like 5:00 or something like that. And we'll tweet it out or keep it up. So yeah, I'll be on tomorrow for a short time with Reasons to have a little fun. What else do we have here on the program? How is the market right now? Let me give you the latest on Bitcoin right now, where it's at. It looks like it's kind of found its floor right now. And this might be what everybody was talking about, 37, 38. And then it shoots up. It's at 38.6 right now. I hope you all are taking advantage of it. I don't know if we'll see 38 and 40s and 50s ever again on the next go up, dude. Carlos Arbeto says, Big O, the Giants hired the guy from the Bills as GM. I can see Dayball going there now. Maybe. We shall see. I don't know if it'll happen, but you never know. Let me see what we have here NFL-wise. I just want to make sure. Let's see. The Giants hired Joe Schoen as GM, which is what you were talking about. General manager of the New York Giants, Schoen, has officially been hired. Formerly Bills assistant general manager, Schoen was the first candidate to be brought in for a second interview, which is a good indication the Giants considered him the favorite candidate. He's a 42-year-old. He got a job as a ticket office intern with the Panthers in 2000, finishing a college football career at DePaul University, and he's had various jobs around the league ever since. He spent the last 5 years with the Bills and previously in the Dolphins front office. So a former Dolphin ends up as the GM for the New York Giants. There you go. What else do we have here? Don't see anything else that's at least Dolphins related, and it looks like that process is going a little slow. But we told you it's probably going to happen after the Senior Bowl when they'll make that decision. David Rome says, Big O, did you know that 10 of the 14 playoff teams have head coaches that are in their first NFL head coaching positions, 2 others, 4 already out of the playoffs? It's about getting the right guy. Exactly. And they can't find the right guy. So I go with the Caldwell. But apparently they're going to go with maybe a Daboll, I guess. Daboll, I hear, is the guy that they want badly. Big O, I know you don't like Colin. What is your opinion on Shannon and Skip? And them are my favorites. Fins up. Skip Bayless is nothing but a troll. Shannon Sharp, I like Shannon Sharp. But Bayless and Colin, you're gonna have them, whatever, bro. You know, whatever floats your boat, man. Yes, sir. What were you gonna say?
We are 7 away from 10,000. 7 subscriptions.
7 subscribers away from 10,000. Let's go, man. 7 subscribers away. Boss B says Reason said 5 p.m. Yeah, that's what I think it is, 5 p.m. I got so much crap going on, man. My day starts early in the morning and it ends at night. Every day, man. I get home and I got like an hour to watch TV and then go to sleep, and the whole thing starts all over again. To establish this thing, it's a lot of work. But it's all good. We'll get it done. We'll establish it. We'll get it rolling, and we'll be just fine. Alco Mark says, as good as X was for us, it seems like his injury is overdue since he missed a lot of games in his career. So you get some draft picks and trade a player for a player, bring O-line, maybe edge rusher. That's what I'm saying. I know how this works. He's going to end up having a knee injury because he's already had several. He's already had several scopes. It's only a matter of time. So you sign him to a long-term contract. His knee gives out a year later, or maybe in that first year, and then everybody rips him. All the people that wanted him to stay are now ripping the organization for saying, how stupid can you be? You signed him. You knew he had knee injuries. Why'd you do that? So, hey, listen, man, it's not an easy decision. I'm not telling you that, man, I'm dying for him to get traded. Yeah, I'm not the biggest X fan personally. Obviously, I'm not really a fan of anybody that's involved in domestic issues, but I also understand the position the Dolphins are in, and I know what he is, okay, and where he's at with his body, with his mind, and his money, and all that stuff. And I also break down his season into two halves. And in the first half, when you were playing some quarterbacks and some receivers, they scored touchdowns on X all over the place. Second half, he did a little better because they didn't face the same kind of quarterbacks at that time. So, I just don't buy the hype either that much. He's really good, but let's not make it like, oh my God, you can't replace him. You can go find another player. I'm not telling you Noah will be that guy, but you got to play Noah anyways. Find out if he can play and sign a veteran, and then you'll have two guys sharing that corner and taking over for X. But if you increase your pass rush and everything else, and you've got a great safety, you might be able to get by without it. If you know how to draft, you should be able to get by. Are you going to be as good? Probably not, because you're losing a hell of a player in X, but you're also gaining draft picks in the process. And if you trade him and then you see him get injured, you're then going to go, oh, that's why O wanted to trade him. Hey, man, listen, I do this all the time. I say things that aren't going to be very popular at the moment. Let it sit. A lot of my comments sometimes are like wine, okay? Right when you make the wine, may not be the time you want to drink it. But then, after you let it sit and marinate in those oak barrels or whatever the hell they do it in, all of a sudden the wine tastes a lot better. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah. So we went through it this year, right? I kept telling you, Flo's got to get cut. Flo's got to get cut. You gotta fire his ass. And I was ripped by many of you, right? And ripped by many of you, and plenty of people. Nobody around the country knew what was going on behind the scenes. Only here. Nobody else around the country. Did you hear anybody else talking about how he was running roughshod through the building, and that he was making a lot of the personnel decisions also? No, because it came from me. And the comments did not sit well with you all, because a lot of you were freaking out on the 7-game winning streak, and that's when he was talking. That's when he wasn't talking to his coaches. That's all you need to know. The guy's making the game plans and all that. Okay? So my comments at times will not be popular when first said, but let it sit. And then you'll find out if they're good comments or I was way off. You'll see. Flores' last chance is Texas. Oh, man, I hope somebody, I'm praying somebody hires Flo. I'm praying for that. Because it's just going to be a glorious disaster. And I'm going to laugh my ass off at that team, the fan base, and the media members that actually think this guy can coach. That he can be a great head coach or something. Let's go for it. I can't wait. Let's see. Big O, has any NFL teams contacted you about Flo? Yeah, they're online right now. They're calling me right now. They all want to find out about Flo. All right, we're out of here. We will be back on Monday morning. I'll be on with Reasons tomorrow at 5:00, so we'll have a little fun with Reasons. I will see you on Monday. Sean Stanley, sir, as always, exceptional work by you, my man.
We are one away from 10K. One away.
One away. Wow. Come on, man. There's over 500 people watching. Are you telling me that out of all 512 of you are subscribed? That's a lie. I think the number, I don't know if you know this, Sean, but I think on YouTube, like 60% of the people or 50% of the people that are watching you are not subscribed most of the time. So there's a lot of you that aren't subscribed. So come on, man. Let's go. Somebody subscribe. Get us over to there it is. It says 10K. Yeah, 10K. I knew there were some of you out there that hadn't done it yet. Thank you. Thank you. 10K, baby. 10K. That is freaking awesome. Appreciate all of you out there. Yes, there you go. There you go. Do it for Sean Stanley more than anybody else. That's what you got to do it for. Thank you. Appreciate all of you out there. Darren Lee says, I was the 10K. No, you weren't, Darren, you liar. You've been on this for a while. You were already subscribed. You're hardcore. So thank you all. 100K next. Yes. That's it. That's the next one, 100K. So I won't bug you guys till we get to like 90-something thousand. And I don't know if that'll be in the next 47 years, but whatever. When we get to the 90s, then we'll tell, hey, come on, let's go. Let's get us to the 100,000 mark. But for now, we're good. Thank you for getting us to the 10K mark, man. That is absolutely fantastic. All right. We'll see you on Monday. I appreciate all of you as always. On behalf of Sean Stanley, who masters this program every single day and does an excellent job from the OK Coin Studios. We thank you all out there. By the way, folks, don't forget that Sloman's Home Security is a proud sponsor of our show. 1-800-ALARM-ME. I love using my Sloman's alarm because I get to keep up with everything and anything going on in the house. Somebody delivering something. The dogs are getting a little crazy, all that kind of stuff. It's always kind of funny watching the cameras because when somebody comes to the door, there's these two dogs on the other side of the door. And they're just growling and barking. And I laugh because I got a camera that's inside the living room, right aimed at the door. And then there's a camera outside the doorbell camera. And I see the reaction from people, and they like kind of, I see people take like a step back or something, like they're worried that the door will open. And, it's happened that people open the door and their dog gets out or whatever, and they're ringing the doorbell or knocking. And these dogs, my two dogs, are just, and Maiden is nasty. Like, she's awesome. She's a great dog. But like to strangers, oh my God, that woman or that girl dog wants to just eat your head off. I mean, she's gonna do some damage. Strong as hell, strong as an ox. But it is funny because I get it all recorded, and I show my wife. It's hilarious. Anyway, so for the entertainment, get Sloman's. Man, you're gonna love it. 1-800-ALARM-ME. The alarm is so easy to use. You're going to love it. And right now you can get that free doorbell camera. That way you can talk to the people there. Hey, leave my food there. Hey, leave the delivery on the side there. Thank you. Whatever. Somebody, that's what you want with Sloman's Home Security. And right now the first 40 Big O listeners will get a free doorbell camera. It connects directly to your smartphone with your Sloman Shield. And you're also going to get the free customized home security system and professional installation when user low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, the first 40 Big O listeners, 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME for Sloman's Home Security. G-Firm, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat, sir. Thank you. He says Flo will be a linebackers coach in the NFL next year. Let's see. Big O is right. Omar is right about the biz part. Case in point, OJ McDuffie. That's a completely different scenario, sir. That's apples and oranges compared to Michael Thomas. OJ's surgery that he needed was just bad surgery. Okay? He wasn't going to be able to play with the toe, my man. So he had to fix the toe. It's just the person that fixed it did a crap job and ruined his career, kind of like Zonka. They didn't do a good job on his toe either. And it kind of ruined his career also. So that's different. Michael Thomas required foot surgery, whether he wanted it or not. He chose to do it at the end of the offseason because he didn't want to ruin his offseason. He wanted to travel and go out and all that stuff. And I'm sorry, my man, that's not the way it goes. Sacrifices have to be made. So you don't sacrifice the regular season. You sacrifice the offseason for your rehab so you can play with your teammates. But Michael Thomas is a bad human being, and that's why he doesn't care about anybody but himself. Omar wants to defend a selfish, self-centered piece of crap like Michael Thomas. He can go ahead and do that. I'm not doing that. Okay? So it's apples and oranges, what happened with OJ and what happened with Michael Thomas. You got to first know what the hell happened in each situation before you can even try to compare them. And that was our problem in the discussion with Omar also, because he doesn't follow the Michael Thomas situation and he doesn't really realize what kind of a jerk that guy's been. That's the problem. But that guy's a first-class jerk. All right. Steven says, we have 4 dogs, 2 pits, and a security cam. I swear there's at least one watching the cam at all times. Soon as someone even approaches the door, they start barking. Well, Steven, I have 2 big dogs, right? But we have 3 little dogs. Dude, you can be at the sidewalk. Listen to me. At the sidewalk, which is, 25 feet away easily from the door. My dogs will already know you're there. When when they're delivering a pizza across the street, my dogs know it. Like, their sense is just sick. They're with Slomans and the dogs, like nobody can approach your house. It's impossible. Because anybody that has dogs, you know what I'm saying? They got that super hearing, bro. They hear things and they're like reacting right away. And you're like, yo, what'd you hear? What are you doing? And you go look in the front, you go, oh, okay. Wow, there's somebody there. Holy crap. But they're on the street. They're not even at our door. So it's the same thing. Same thing. But the Slomans cameras, now I got video entertainment from it, man. It's awesome. It's actually really cool. It's funny. People freak out, man. Well, because my doors shake. Both dogs are 75 pounds and they're pushing on the door. And so it kind of moves and the people kind of freak out. Their eyes open. It's funny. It's good video. Slomans has provided great entertainment. I got to tell you. Yes, Meatloaf passed away, Roy. Yes, unfortunately, 74. Good thing I heard, when I read the story, his family was right there with him when he was passing, which is, listen, none of us want to go, but at least if you're going to go, you don't want to go by yourself. You want at least somebody there that, you can at least say goodbye to and is kind of, there with you in the final seconds. Do you think the fullback position will make a comeback at some point in the league, or is that position dead and gone for good? Congrats on 10K. Thank you. I doubt it'll make a comeback, David. I think it'll be one of those things that maybe only a couple teams will use it if they need it, that kind of stuff. But I don't think it'll ever become a thing because we love points. And so we want as many offensive players out there, and fullbacks don't necessarily help you create more explosive plays. Unless you're Justin, what's that guy? The Strezlik or whatever that guy's name. That guy's a hell of a fullback, dude. That guy can catch the ball and run. I saw him in the Senior Bowl years ago, and he has made himself one hell of a career, man, in a league that doesn't even care about that position anymore. He's a good player, man. Damn good player. Chuck Cooper says favorite segments are with Cam Wolf. He's polished and brings it every time. I think Poupart does an excellent job. I think Omar's awesome. I think Joe Shad does a great job. I think all our guys do a great job. And we're adding one more, by the way. So there'll be 5 insiders on here, excluding yours truly, of course, because I'm not an insider. I don't know. I just kind of, make a guess every once in a while. And that's what we do. Ooh, we got a little dip here. What happened? 38,400 on Bitcoin. 38,400. Take advantage. Buy and stake. That's what you do. All right, we're out of here. We said that last time. We are now out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to Sean Stanley. Same time. Oh, no, that's not tomorrow. It's Monday. We'll see you. Tomorrow, I'll be on with Reasons at 5 o'clock. We'll see you on Monday. You all be good out there. Much love. Thank you all for supporting us in every way that you do, man. It means everything in the world. And thank you for getting us to 10,000 subscribers. That is awesome. Now let's go get 90 more. Y'all be good.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.